I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
You just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. You got nothing.
I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA boxing.
This is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. Very special topic. By the way, I'm Bucho, King Bucho, not Mr. BDA. Some people are new here, still don't. And some people actually have been here for a long time and still don't understand that I'm King Bucho, different person from Mr. BDA.
What's up, Mr. BDA?
Yeah,
sorry,
Vinny
Bucho,
Mac
right?
style. Vinny Mac style. No, it's true though. Some people still think we're the same person, even though we talk at the same time. They think we're clones or something. There's all these conspiracy theories, but no.
I think you guys have some type of special technique where
Schizophrenic, two personalities. All right. Oh, we see. We have Pete already there. Brandon White, Baboon Boxing. Oh, we have X. I should really block X, man. This guy's always in the chat talking shit.
Yeah, you should. X, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Blues Boxing. He says, "Can I comment without being blocked?" Yes, you can. All depends. If you start spamming, then you will get blocked. But no, you're not likely to get blocked. Listen, if you're blocked or kicked out, it's because you really fucked up. All right. So we are a debate show, and we do uphold freedom of speech over here. But everything has limits. And by the way, we do encourage people to call in. The phone lines are open. Do you think that Errol Spence Jr. was correct in calling Timothy Bradley a coon? All right. So if you guys don't know what happened, So basically, Timothy Bradley did like a Hulk Hogan type of thing.
Yeah.
Macho Man, Randy Savage started yelling and shit, and he got all pumped up.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Let me tell you, you guys at the BBC gotta come over here and fight fight Terrence Crawford. And so then obviously PBC fanboys didn't like that.
Yeah.
And Spence called Bradley a coon, basically.
Yeah. When you have no argument, just call him a coon.
Just call him a coon.
Yeah, it changes everything.
All right, we also have Stu on the line. Stu, are you there?
I am indeed. How are you fellas?
Doing
Pretty
good,
good.
Stu. What's up?
Just on here to talk about that coon Timothy Bradley.
Yeah. Yes.
So I hope
What
the
is
show
it?
is interesting.
What is it with the LBBC, right? It seems that to be part of them, you've got to be a low IQ, ignorant thug. If you're one of them, then you're a real brother.
This is
Have
Errol
you got a bit
Spence
of-
saying this too. This is Errol Spence saying that. What do you have to say about that?
That makes me sick to my stomach, man.
Is he being influenced by the LDBC or what do you guys think?
Listen,
Yeah.
I just think they're all the same, really, aren't they? Fucking low intelligent, low IQ thugs. Just Errol Spence can throw his hands a little bit. That's the only difference. I mean, take the boxing ability out of fucking Spence, and he'll probably be on a corner outside a liquor store robbing people as well. So that's his intelligence. And I actually like Errol. But I liked Errol Spence, but I thought this comment against Timothy Bradley is disgraceful.
It was low life. It was very.
Listen, Timothy Bradley, I'm going to say it now. Timothy Bradley is one of my favourite Black American fighters because he's a throwback fighter and never ducked a challenge like the rest of these fucking cowards. I tell you what, you could chop Timothy Bradley's left testicle off and he'd still have more balls than them PDC guys. So at the end of the day, PBC guys. So that's where I'm coming from. You know, I don't get too involved with whether a black guy thinks a black guy's a coon. I don't really get too involved with them conversations. But when it comes to Tim Bradley, who I'm a fan of, who showed no signs of being a coon to me, you know, so, nah. I mean, this is what you're getting. The scum of the earth, aren't they? Let's be real. LDBC are the scum of the fucking earth. They really are. And I don't care. They can all cry in the chat. They're going to do nothing about it. Scum. A lot of them.
Let's face it. I mean, there's so many different ways that Spence could have handled that comment if he doesn't like it, right? Let's say he's sitting there, he heard it. How about, look, even though I would have not agreed with it, but if he would have said, Bradley, shut your mouth. I retired you because we was I think it was one of the belts sanctioned us to fight next and you chose to retire. Or nobody's afraid of your boy. But you can, something like that. Or you can keep cheerleading for your boy who's on the wrong side of the street purposely. Like stuff like that. But to call a man a coon, in other words, we know what coon means. It's to question his blackness. Like, you're a racist, bro. Like, Spence, let's be honest. You don't like black people. There's certain black people you don't like. Okay? This is one of the things that they could get away with. If you listen to the LBBC, you hear a lot of racist comments towards every group, including blacks. They get away with it all the time. All right? I've heard them call other black people very derogatory names just because they don't like them. And straight out call them like a nappy-headed person. Oh, he's dirty looking. He's a dirty looking black motherfucker. I've heard them say it.
Wow.
Okay? So they get away with that because they're supposedly the real blacks. You understand what I'm saying? They do that whole thing.
But why Sorry, go ahead.
No, so I'm just saying it's corny what he did. It's corny what he did. Yeah, when he felt insulted, he turned to his racism and his corny comments.
But what's the racial? I don't understand. Why would he call it? I mean, what's the explanation for calling somebody, in this case, obviously, calling Bradley a coon? Like, why is he doing? Is he on the side of non-blacks, or what is it?
No, he's being a racist prick. He's being, who he is. That's just him showing his hand. When another black guy doesn't agree with him, that black guy is no longer the same type of black guy he is, right?
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing I recognise. I mean, to these ghetto clowns that we're talking about, yeah. Anthony Joshua's not a black guy to them. He's not a black dude because he's got an English accent.
He comes from Africa. Like he actually.
That's not Africa. He's got it because I remember when I was on the Boxing Voice and this guy called in, and he said, "Oh, that English boy, Stuart Little, man, he hates black people. He hates black fighters." And I went, "No," and Nez said, "Well, he likes Anthony Joshua." He goes, "Yeah, but Anthony Joshua's not black, man." I'm like, "Is this fucking guy for real?" Anthony Joshua's not black because he's got an English accent. He sounds a bit too clever for the hood. I mean, that's the fucking intelligence of it. This is why I get all upset talking about him. But Errol Spence is pandering to his the few fans he does have. Let's be real, he's pandering. And it's not. Deontay Wilder tried that. We all know we all know where that got him. And I think Errol Spence could be another way. You start using race and start playing the victim card in boxing. It's just a bad look, and people turn away from it.
lot of people
Yeah, I
saying
mean,
that. Yeah.
it goes to show you that this is more like ideology than it is like the racial DNA aspect of it, right? Like it because look, you got Joshua, he's black. You got Timothy Bradley, he's black. You can't, you know, you can't deny that, you know, especially coming from from a guy in Spence who's a black guy, and you know he's over here sitting here. He's showing you it's all about ideology, right? Like, look, why do they hate? Why do they hate Anthony Joshua? I have reasons to believe, and this is not a knock to Anthony Joshua. I'm not knocking him. I happen to believe that Joshua believes himself to be like a black supremacist. I really think he does. Really think that he probably doesn't talk about it publicly. That's something privately he feels. I go back to the Eddie Chambers email, you know, that whole private email. I think that's who he really is.
Yeah, let's be real, man.
You could be a black supremacist. Let me finish this point, Stu. You could be a black.
Yeah,
you
it's
could be
true
a
though.
supremacist of any kind, and still be a gentleman towards other people, right? Like in terms of ideology. Look, I believe my race to be racially superior than any other race. Maybe he really feels that, and this is going to be my point. Most people are aware of that comment, right? And these LDBC people feel themselves to be that way, and they still don't like Anthony Joshua.
See, I don't think Anthony Joshua is a black supremacist. I believe he's a narcissist that thinks the color of his skin and his black shiny six pack is going to win him fights. That alone, and that's what I feel. I don't think he's a.
But you know what
I mean,
that ideology.
listen, I want to make a comment. Actually, I want to make a comment. I was actually watching Boxing Beats and Rhymes stream. I only watched it for a little bit. I'm actually going to call McGregor out on this because I actually like McGregor, quite close to McGregor. I'm going to call him out on this because he was on that show, and this guy, a black African guy, rang in and said Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz because he'd become too stiff because he was surrounded by too many white people. It made him stiff. So now, so all this rhythm's come along. I mean, I don't know unless he's got some fucking dance group to help him find a bit of footwork or something. So did he get fucking Usher? Did he get Usher and all them in to fucking help him with some footwork? So I don't know where he's coming from, but McGregor sat there in silence. See, if I would have been on that raw if I'd have heard that. You know, Anthony Joshua's got no room. He's too stiff because he surrounds himself with too many white people. I mean, I'll tell you what, mate.
That's exactly what did it.
He needs Apollo Creed.
Listen. I tell you what, Anthony Joshua can go around walking like the Tin Man with $75 million in the bank for one fight. How about that one?
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
Absolutely ridiculous comment. And I'm a bit, like I said, a bit disappointed in McGregor. He's my boy, and I was expecting, because he'd call anyone else out over some nonsense, but a comment like that's made, and he says nothing. And I was a bit disappointed with him. And if he comes on, I'll tell him.
That's a ridiculous comment. That's just look.
One forever.
G Boogie is in the house. Go ahead.
G Boogie, what's up, brother?
What's up, gentlemen? Stu, Recognize, and King Bucho.
What's up? What's up?
Oh, that's DDA? Oh,
yeah.
No, it's Bucho, man. I'm kidding. Somebody was talking. I recognize. Go ahead. Finish your point. Start your point.
No, okay. So here's my point. Look, the reason he lost that fight is because he made mistakes. That's my conclusion of watching both fights, and I think a lot of people agree with that. He made mistakes in that first fight. Now, if he was stiff, according to this African dude, well, that has to do with lifting too much weight. That's not a white thing or a black thing, okay? In fact, in the States, when it comes to bodybuilding, it seems to be more of a black thing, okay? Now, that's not to say that because you're a bodybuilder, you're going to be stiff. No, that happens to do with an individual's mind game plan, okay, or not working on certain things, not working on rhythm, and stuff like that. So that's what happened to Joshua. You know, I didn't listen to the show. I don't know what this guy. I guess he talks boxing and whatever his narrative is on his boxing channel. It is what it is, but it's an ignorant comment to say, because I hang out with a certain amount of people, that means I'm going to have no rhythm. Stupid.
That just shows his ignorance of his comment. You
We can barely hear you, man.
How everybody been saying that Anthony Joshua needed to lose the weight and all that. So
that's all it was down to, man. And a bit of. I mean, let's be real. What he gets a fucking black man to hold the spit bucket, and the next minute he's Jackie Wilson. I mean, come on now. You know, at the end of the day, the footwork. The footwork was obviously there, weren't it?
I'm looking for some comments because I was reading some comments from some of these YouTube channels. Some of them were actually defending Errol Spence Jr. So I'm going to read some of them in just a bit.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Yeah, we're not making this stuff up, people, because then people show, who no, what are you talking about? You show me the proof. All right. Let's see. Errol Spence, Timothy Bradley, shut your Coon ass up. All right, let's read some comments. Tim put his top hat on and got his cane out for this one. So he's doing like a dance performance with his hat and cane. I promise you, Tim Bradley practiced that in the some of these comments. I'm sorry, but they're not written properly here. I promise you, Tim Bradley practiced that in mirror the night before, says the man who retired instead of possibly facing Errol Spence Jr. Bradley been studying that old HBO commentary.
Timothy Bradley has a better resume than Spence, Crawford, all them put together.
Exactly, man. Of course he does.
Listen, Timothy Bradley was making $8 million, while Errol Spence was the spit bucket boy in the Mayweather gym. Let's be real. I mean, Timothy Bradley has fought the best. Timothy Bradley, like I said, basically got himself nearly hurt to prove to the fans that he could fight when he could have gone on the back foot.
Got himself hurt.
Nicked the points win, and then everyone would have forgot about it. You know, a couple of months later, because he was getting stick from the Pacquiao performance where he was on the back foot. He got a lot of stick for that. He felt the need he had to go out and press, which he didn't. He didn't have fuck all to prove to Pacquiao fans, not a thing. But he went out there and decided to go toe to toe with the Siberian fucking buffalo. Do you know what I mean? And you can't do that shit, you know. That's what made me respect him even more. The fact that he fucking nearly got himself deformed just to put on a show for the fans. And how can you disrespect guys like that? And like I said, maybe Bradley's not ghetto enough for these guys, man. I don't know. Maybe Bradley weren't such a cherry picker. No, maybe Bradley, because Bradley doesn't thank Al Heyman for everything he does in life.
That's pretty much it, Stu. You know that's the reason why, man. I mean, and look at this comment. Leave these good, God-fearing white folks alone, Tim Bradley. Honestly, Tim Bradley is cooning for this statement. I'm glad Errol Spence Jr. said something to Uncle Charlie. Lol. Now, some people are defending Crawford, to be honest.
What was Timothy Bradley's actual statement that made it so offensive that Errol Spence Jr. had to say something like that?
Well, that's the thing. He just said, all these guys at the PBC come and fight Terence Crawford. Basically, like, stop avoiding Terence Crawford.
Let's be real. If we want to talk about Coons, if you want to like start getting picky and talk about Coons, what about Errol Spence walking around like he's the Black John Wayne with a fucking cowboy hat on? Don't get more fucking cracker than that. Don't get no more cracker than that, man. What the fuck's Errol Spence, man? What's wrong with him, man? Calling people Coons and he's walking around. He's walking around with
a black redneck.
Yeah.
It's true. How offensive was that comment, anyways? Like this is how ridiculous it is. He wasn't
actually
even
that's not offensive
serious
at all. He was just putting them in his place. Why not fight and make the money and create a legacy and challenge yourself. So if that's offensive, then for another man to call him a coon, then actually the coon is the person that actually was pointing the finger.
Now, to be
I mean,
fair
listen,
to
their
Errol
world is
Spence,
so small. It's so small when it comes to like their ideology. A man's a coon because he speaks his mouth. He speaks his mind. That's opposite of what the group think is. You know, these are. You know what it is. Errol Spence is he's a company man with the ideology. You know what I'm saying? I say company man in a bad term. If you don't share his MO, his ideology, you're a coon. So I mean, to me, who's really the coon? The plantation thinking stupid idiot that will say anything when he gets emotional, Errol Spence, or a guy like Timothy Bradley, who's probably speaking independently and a little bit of promoting the guy he likes, which
yeah.
is
Well, he
Terrence
works with
Crawford.
ESPN Top Rank, basically. I mean,
Exactly. The guy he likes, the guy he knows, versus the guys he don't know. And he doesn't like what they stand for. In terms of boxing, it has nothing to do with race. It's just probably for him, it's all about boxing and saying, I don't like these dudes because they're about freezing dudes out instead of fighting the best and then calling themselves the best without fighting us.
you think Errol Spence Jr. got mad?
I'll tell you what, is Timothy Bradley doing any worse than what Lennox Lewis is doing? They're being paid by a network, big up their fighters, and criticize everybody else. And that's what they're there to do. Lewis is doing it with Joshua because he's there for PBC, and Bradley's calling out the PBC guys because he's with he's basically Top Rank, isn't he? He's basically with Aaron on his side, and obviously he's going to back Crawford. That's how the media work. So for Tim Bradley, I think it was a great move by Tim Bradley, letting the world know what cowards they are at the PBC, fighting amongst themselves. That's like the Smith brothers fucking fighting amongst themselves and so calling themselves champions after one of them wins a few fights. I mean, get that. You got to fight the best everywhere around the world, not just in some little safe space they call a PBC. You know, poor old Shawn Porter, man. If Shawn Porter had any sort of fucking sense, he'd get the fuck out of that contract. Go with Bob Arum or go with Eddie. It might be the A side for once in his life.
Hey guys, the Hand History Vault is asking you, if Bradley was white, which word would Spence call Bradley? I don't even want to know.
He probably won't even insult them if he was white. He'll probably just say, Timothy Bradley is speaking for ESPN. He's a clown. That's it.
Interesting. Now, this is something Michael Montero said, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, but it makes sense. It's basically like when the PBC, what they do during their commentary and telecast, they ignore the WBO champion in Terence Crawford. And we remember that when they showed all the champions from the welterweight division, they ignored the WBO. They showed WBC, IBF, and WBA. So compare what the PBC does in ignoring Terence Crawford with what ESPN just did, which is call out all these other fighters that are on the other side of the street. Who's doing the right thing here? ESPN calling out the other fighters while PBC just ignores Terence Crawford. You guys tell me, man.
Which one is worse?
Yeah, in the sense like who's doing it right? Let's put it that way. Another question: who's doing it correct? ESPN is. They're calling out the other fighters.
Yeah, I agree. Because at least they're trying to make the fights. Like I don't care what the PBC's intentions are of like signing. We're not going to take this fight unless this guy signed with me. I mean, this is what makes me laugh about these LDBC fans. It's like, yo, listen, every one of you dirty motherfuckers, you're not getting paid by these people. You comment for free on them. You promote them for free. That's it. They're not giving you any money. So, this is why I don't like the homosexuality fanboyism that they have on that side. I don't like those dudes. They're very. Look, I don't know them personally, but in terms of boxing, I have no interest because it's about gay stuff, and it's just being honest. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to like bring up, something that's not true. The way they fan for these guys, it's very homoerotic.
There's nothing we don't. I mean, we accept all types of what would you call it? I suck at these disclaimers, but you know, guys would know what I mean.
Well, look. Let me look. They're very feminine men in terms of the way how sensitive they are to certain things. And I'll tell any one of these dudes in the face. Like I have no problem with that. You know, first of all, it's not that serious. And if you ever did came up to me, I remember one guy threatening me. I ain't gonna say what it is, but I remember somebody threatening. I'm like, dude, you ever come to here, I will destroy you. I will put you in a bad situation where now you have to fight for your life. Now, it's not gonna be a fight. All right, so it is what it is. It's like this is just commentary. You can comment on me, and I can comment on you. Listen, it's very homoerotic, and that's not a derogatory statement.
It's the way they are. I know it's very emotional. Also,
yeah, it's very emotional.
Yeah,
it's very emotional, and it's very like it's not for me. It's not interesting to watch because I don't share those type of feelings for any boxer. I like certain boxers. I don't care if they lose. I really don't. Like, if they lose a fight,
you won't lose any sleep. Some of these people will lose sleep. Some of these people will like we've seen these on other channels. They're ready to get a gun and shoot people. Apparently, so some of these people are like really fucked up mentally. But just want to say that Joe Lopez in the chat. Thank you for your contribution. He says Timothy Bradley called out the PBC welterweights, and I haven't seen any of them except the challenge. Where is the warrior mentality?
They don't have a warrior mentality.
They
don't. They play politics. Look, the only warrior on that side of the street,
Shawn Porter.
Okay, that's it.
Amen.
That's it. That's Achilles right there. He might have an Achilles heel, but he's Achilles. He's the one screaming out everybody's name. All right, remember when Achilles was calling Hector? Remember when he was screaming out Hector's name?
Yeah,
for Hector to come down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter's like, I'll fight any of you guys. We can do this now. That's it. So
he treats Al Heyman just like how Agamemnon was treated by Achilles.
Exactly. There you go.
Hey guys, we have a phone call. 585. You're on the air. 585.
Vinny Mac.
How you guys doing? This is Vince.
Yep, Vince. What's up?
Hi.
How are you?
How you guys doing? How you doing, Mr. Recognize? I hear you guys crying over there. I just decided to call in due to the fact
bye.
that, I just want to know
Go fuck yourself.
What's Mr. Stu's problem with the best pound for pound fighter in boxing, Errol Spence Jr. Thank you.
Oh, please.
Stu,
go fuck yourself. Bye.
I don't think Stu cares.
Who was that again?
Vinny Mac.
Vinny Mac.
Oh, Vinny Spaz.
Vinny Spaz.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Wilder was pound for pound. He fucking changes his pound for pound list every week.
It up.
Yeah, I mean, Errol Spencer, the pound for pound in the world at crashing Ferraris, he might be that, but as it comes to boxing, no way. I mean, what's he done to be pound for pound? Beat that fucking fat policeman wannabe, Mikey Garcia, who's the most energy used in that fight was the celebrations after every round. I mean, he was dreadful, absolutely fucking dreadful. I mean, if that win gets you a pound for pound spot, or what about
broken down Kell Brook?
Yeah, what about half man, half machine, Kell Brook? I mean, the guy that the malfunction.
Half man,
Kell
half
Brook
dead.
malfunctioned after 6 rounds. He fucking loose wire, and he malfunctioned. Then you've got who else? You've got
Shawn Porter.
Shawn Porter, who
a guy who arguably beat him.
Arguably beat him, yeah. I mean, what is that fucking noise, man? What is that noise?
He's giving you kudo points.
Oh, is that what it is? I was like, fuck's sake, like been in the fucking shopping centre and fucking paying for my food.
To this day.
All right, go ahead, Stu.
I'm finished, man. I can't fucking think straight with all them noises in the background.
All right, Vinny, anything else?
Yes, I would like to know why you guys are crying for Mr. Terrence Crawford. Errol Spence is not ducking the fight. He just got from a car accident, guys. Give him a break, please.
Are you saying he's on medications, and so what he said was due to him being under the medications?
Yes, I heard Mr. Spence will be fighting in June, and I cannot wait for that fight, Mr. Bucco. I cannot wait. I'm so pumped for that fight. Also, I just want to say, guys, TikTok, Mr. Lomachenko's time as champion is coming to an end, guys. So I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to drink some wine tonight, guys.
Not Pepsi? Not Pepsi?
Chop him up like liver.
Not Pepsi?
Yeah.
Where's the Pepsi?
Oh, so you're going to have some Pepsi and wine. Listen, buddy, take care of yourself. Yeah. All right, bye.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Mr. Record,
Yeah, that
guys,
too.
actually have another 6-pack of Pepsi, especially for that fight. Teofimo will knock his head off, and I can't wait, guys. Loma's hyped out.
Yeah, call back later. Bye.
All right, take care, Vinny.
What was that like? What's Vinny rambling on about now? What did he say the last thing? I'm struggling to hear him.
He said that he can't wait for Teofimo to knock out Lomachenko.
Oh yeah.
Hey, fanboy.
It's the same old fantasy, Stu.
Hey, Vinny Mac didn't even.
Walters.
Yeah,
Guillermo Rigondeaux.
He didn't even know Lopez was until yesterday. Or Saturday, whenever it was. Didn't know who the guy was. I shouldn't have thought. Do you know what I mean? I mean, let's be real, Vinny. I think he's a great caller, Vinny. He just knows absolutely zero about boxing. It's just the way it is.
I hope you get arrested, Vinny. That's what I don't like you personally.
Well, he's 6'5", 270 pounds or something. Remember?
I hope he drinks too much wine, decides to go for a ride, and he gets pulled over by the cops. That's what I hope.
There goes that less testosterone, feminine.
Nah, I like Vinny. Vinny's all right, man. He's a good sport, but I don't agree with shit he has to say.
Hey guys,
Vinny Mac, fuck yourself.
Yeah, that too, please.
Now, what
take
Spence...
it easy, and go fuck yourself.
I was gonna ask you guys what Spence said. Was that said in a moment of rage? You know, when somebody can't control. Yeah, you know what I mean. Some people, when they get angry, they don't think straight and they just say whatever.
From America, we from the ghetto too. We know insults when we see it. When somebody's upset, they use low life insults. I mean, we all do it in a way. You know,
he just didn't know how to articulate himself. That's why he came out.
That's with the Coon, with the very easy, this racial superiority, him being the more racial superior to Timothy Bradley. You know, that's basically it. I mean, look, they're both black men. There's no arguing that. He can't sit there and say Timothy Bradley is really not black, right? That would be the stupidest thing he could say. So what he does is says the next stupidest thing. Oh, he's like the sellout. He's a coon. I mean, he's campaigning for another black dude.
So what Timothy Bradley said actually did affect Spence, because maybe there's some truth in what Timothy Bradley said.
I agree with that. And look, I don't want to make people think that I'm this Crawford fanboy. I'm not. I think before the accident happened, before the whole thing happened with Timothy, with Errol Spence, I would have picked Spence to beat him. I think Spence is the better fighter. Okay, I don't know about that now, but I think he would have beat. I think he would have beat Crawford. But he's obviously hiding something. Or the second thing is there's a lot of truth to what's being said by Timothy Bradley. Now, look. I know there's two sides of the stories. There's always two sides of the story, but there was some truth there. What Timothy Bradley said, and he probably didn't like it, and went off.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm not buying this where Spencer's in such a bad shape. When he comes back, he's going to look like Frankenstein out of Death Race. I'm not. This is the way people are going on. Like, oh, you ain't seen Spence. He'll never fight again. He's got all plates in his chin, his jaw, his hands. I mean, come on, man. Fucking hell.
It's becoming like a
RoboCop 4 or something, you know what I mean?
Well, here's what I say. Here's what I say. The hiding so much, dude, it makes me think that there's something worse with him. I don't know. He could be perfectly fine for all I know, right? He could be just fine. But the way, and maybe they're doing this purposely. Maybe they want to do this purposely, right? Maybe they want some time off for Errol Spence for different reasons other than the accident. But maybe he's just fine. But the secretiveness and that ugly video of the car crash and then the face, the way he looked, makes me wonder if he's the same. Is he going to be the same fighter, in the ring? So if he's not the same fighter, he doesn't beat Terrence Crawford. There's no way. Terrence Crawford is a tough kid. He's not this excellent skill boxer. He's a tough dude who knows how to fight. And if you show him some weakness, like any other tough dude, they attack. They're attackers, and that's what he would do. But if he's the Errol Spence that fought Shawn Porter, oh man, I got Errol Spence all day to beat that Terrence Crawford.
Yep.
You can see the picture.
To be fair to me, recognize I've been saying it from the start, haven't I? That Spence beats Crawford.
No, you did. You have said it. It's just that we're not fanboying for Spence. We're not his cheerleaders. He's not my brother. He's
Vinny
not my cousin. He's nothing to me. He's just a man. I want to see. I would like for him to continue his career because I'm a boxing fan. And I think he has something. I think he has something to offer.
He probably has brain problems, says one hitter in the chat. Could that be the case? He's not thinking straight, not thinking properly. Medications kicking in.
Nobody really knows, only the people that's around him. People can just speculate.
How about this? How bad is this for maybe people who support Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford? Who are not into this whole YouTube thing with the LBBC. They don't know shit about this. And then they hear Errol Spence say those words. Is he going to lose some fans?
You see, look, I got... all right, so my brother is one of those type of fans. My brother just loves boxing, right? Both my brothers, period, right? I have one that's cynical of boxing. He criticizes everybody. And then I got another brother that's like, yo, fuck that. They're professionals. They're all great in his mind. You know what I'm saying? That's how he sees it.
Yeah.
And my brother that's like that, he doesn't, when I tell him these stories, he's like, yo, what are you talking about? I never saw this in the media or ESPN or anything like that. What are you talking about? It's like, oh, never mind. I got to remember that not everybody is on social media following boxing, right? It's the world, like politics, right? On politics, if you go on Twitter and if you go on social media, period, you would think that the narrative is one way, but in reality, the world doesn't think that way, right? It doesn't think that way. It's bigger than Twitter or any social media platform. So same thing with boxing, same thing with sports, and boxing in particular, because that's what we're talking about. They don't understand this hate, this hatred for one guy. They're like, yo, what? My brothers look at it like they're hating on Timothy Bradley because he wants those. He's calling out those guys. Isn't that part of boxing? Isn't that what boxing's about? Calling out people.
Mm-hmm.
Why get racial? Oh, you're a Coon. You're this for doing that.
Yeah, exactly. They don't understand that. Boxing, it's more than what you see, right? But the thing is, because we are involved in this whole YouTube thing, so we know what's being said by certain groups. But like you said, like your brother, he's basically, what would be the word?
He's a casual fan. He doesn't follow boxing on social media. He's a casual. He doesn't know
being a casual.
Well, no, look.
You think Larry Merchant is on fucking YouTube? Like Larry Merchant, do you think he doesn't know boxing? This guy knows boxing, right? But he's not on fucking...
Of course.
Yeah, but this guy's not on fucking YouTube, like watching fucking Ego or some shit. I mean...
Right, he doesn't know who Ego is. He probably doesn't care to know who Ego is. In Ego's world, he's somebody. In the real world, he's a real nobody. That's it.
Yeah. Good point. By the way, SSB28, a good comment. He says, Should Crawford sign with the PBC even though Crawford makes the most money out of all the welterweights with top rank? Exactly. He's making the most money over here. So
No,
PBC,
I do think that, Errol Spence moving on. I mean, Terrence Crawford moving on forward. He does have a bit of a problems when it comes to fights. He does.
Mm-hmm.
There is going to be some issues there. I don't totally blame it on him. I wouldn't do that.
He made the decision to stay with top rank.
He made the decision to stay with top rank. I guess Bob Arum offered him a very nice contract. Some people would say that's sort of an omission of ducking. I disagree with that. With anybody who has that point of view, I don't think so. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I think he took the best financial deal as a guy who put in the work and was hoping to get a big contract. There it is.
Plus, he's calling his own shots. And with any of the PVC fighters, if you're under contract with Al Heyman, you got to do everything what Al Heyman says, because there's nothing you can do because you signed that contract. And 15% of everything you earn, even on side money, even on if you get in the house, you got to tell Al Heyman.
Right. Al Heyman, I see where Suge Knight got his little methods from. Suge Knight used to work for him, like as a personal bodyguard.
Learn from the best.
To be fair, Crawford earns nice money with Bob Arum. Like I said, when people were saying about Timothy Bradley, talking about Tim, when he signed for Bob Arum, look at the money he made under Bob Arum. I mean, he made $8 million for one fight against Pacquiao. I think he made $6 million in the other. I think he made $2 or $3 million to fight Marquez. I think he made the same to fight Provodnikov. Big paychecks, man. I mean, Spence is only starting to see them now.
He brought it into Stu.
Go ahead.
He brought it into the fold, which meaning he made his wife as his manager.
Is that G Boogie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so, brother. Sorry. I'm on my phone, you see. Everyone sounds a bit different.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he gets to keep. He's a good businessman as well. Hasn't been robbed his money by these leeches. He kept all the savages away, all the leeches that run fighters' careers down and take all their money, and then when it's all gone, move on to someone else. He's kept away, just kept him and his wife, his family, and Uncle Bob, and he's made multi-million pounds or dollars, shall I say, because he's American, doing it. So. Respect to Timothy Bradley, mate. One of my favourite African-American fighters, without a shadow of a doubt. So that's why it annoys me when you get these fucking clowns like Errol Spence calling him a coon. Totally unacceptable.
Why didn't other PBC fighters also react to what Bradley said? It seems like it was only Errol Spence Jr.
Because Errol Spence was the one that took it personal. Like I could see Shawn Porter saying, "Hey, I'll fight any of your boys any day." At Tim Bradley, right? Like I could see him going on Twitter saying something like that. "Hey, I'm here. I'll fight your boy any day." Like that's probably the best way to react. That's it. Hey, listen, all right, you calling us out? I'll fight your boy. Let's get something worked out. That's it. Nobody's gonna have an argument and say, in Shawn Porter's way, oh, he's acting salty. No, he's acting like a warrior. He's telling you, I'm here.
And yet people complain about that.
Of course they do, because listen, most of these guys, let's think about some of the narratives they had. Oh, a guy gets hit. He can't box. I know you never fought in your life, right? If you say that, you've never gotten to a fight. I don't care who you are. You a liar. Stop it. You don't know how to fight. You don't know that you're gonna get hit unless you're fighting a bunch of pussies. And still, that means that you basically just a bully. And when you fight a real one and he starts punching you, you're gonna quit.
Mm-hmm.
That's Vinny Mac,
right? Well, I don't know. I mean, Vinny Mac.
No, he's 20-0 in street fights. But go ahead, Raccoon.
So once I hear that narrative, I know these dudes never had a fight in their life, right? The second, if you disagree with me, somehow you're a coon. Yo, the world's bigger than your mindset. Okay, your own individual mindset. Everybody's different. So these are all these little narratives that they paint. Oh, they care about, even going to the point of lying about pay-per-view sales for certain fighters. What are you getting out of that? Like, I don't care what Wilder sold. If he sold fucking 5 million or he sold 25, 25,000. I don't care. He's not going to give me any of that money. And it's not going to do anything for me. Right? It doesn't matter. He either fights or he doesn't. Okay, once he leaves boxing, boxing will continue on. That's the way it goes. But
So why this strong attachment?
It's living. Look, these strong attachments has to do with lack of confidence in themselves. That's what it is. Have you ever heard us in here? Like, I'd be like, yo, Lomachenko, man, he's getting like 5 million views. I don't care what fucking views Lomachenko does. Okay? Yo, Lomachenko, man, he's just like, his skill. Nobody's ever done something like that. I don't care if somebody has or hasn't. I'm enjoying the fight, the technique now. Whether he wins or loses, it doesn't matter. It's going to be exciting fighting. Okay? Whoever beats Lomachenko is going to have to put on a great performance. That's what I like about Lomachenko. That's what I like about boxing. These dudes are caring about the individual, the person, and they try to make it look like a black thing. Obviously, that's not the case, right? That is not the case. They wouldn't be attacking Anthony Joshua like that if that was the case. Okay? So, or they wouldn't be attacking Dillian White that way because he's calling out Deontay Wilder. So it's not a black thing. It's homoerotic dreams for these dudes, bro. That's all
Like
it is.
They take it personal, like you're saying in this example.
The guy who,
yeah, they just called out the PBC fighters, and these people support what Spence says, which is a derogatory, using a derogatory term, and they don't condone that type of behavior. They condone, that behavior. It's pretty weird.
They wish to be Deontay Wilder instead of saying, I like the way the dude fights. That's it. Just keep it at that. I like the way he fights.
Yeah, that's not the whole thing, right?
Getting their emotions put in and involved in all that stuff, like, really is like a fantasy to you. That, or are you feeling that you're the one that's there?
Exactly.
It's kind of that. Huh? You get to that point.
Knocking these dudes out.
We knocking everybody out.
Was their mentality and their psych. They need to seek psychiatric help.
Interesting. We're getting somewhere here. Roha Wine in the chat says they've drastically lowered the standards of debate. They are contaminated. They've contaminated it with their hatred of non-PBC fighters. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, they use these SJW tactics. It's like, okay, so in other words, I can't beat you in a debate. So what I'm gonna do is shout, scream, start calling you names, and that's it. Instead of like getting into a debate. And look, I'm all for it because you guys know me. If you start shouting debate insults at me, I'm gonna do the same thing. That's the way I am. I'm like that on PDA. I'm like that in person. I do everything with a smile. If I see you want to fight me, right? Like if you're getting really mad, I'll smile to antagonize you so you can do something. That's the type of person that I've always been. It's fun. Let's debate. I win, you win, we move on. They like to use these tactics of, I can't defeat him in an argument, so I'm just gonna call them names. SJW tactics. That's what they are.
That's just like the Charlo. What's his name? Daniel Jacob incident. Charlo talking all this smoke, all this junk. Next thing you know, Danny Jacob comes up. Hey, Yeah, you the one that I wanted to speak to. What's up now? And he's like, started being hesitant because now he can't talk behind his back and knowing that he's not there and he's in front of you now. Now what? Oh, you change your ideology. You change your verbiage now. Why you still haven't got in the ring with him? Huh?
Now you want to be
then.
respectful, right? Now you want to be all respectful.
Exactly.
Let's be civilized. Oh, but you wasn't talking like that when I wasn't around, though.
We call that in New York, bitch made.
Yeah, and here's another thing I was gonna say. That's true, G Boogie. That's exactly what that is. But like, I bet you a lot of these guys are like that too. These LDBC guys, they'll talk about somebody's face. I want to see when they see the person in person, when they see him, and they like, yo, this dude got some size on him too, boy. You know, he's walking confident. Hey, what was all that shit you were talking? Nah,
Did you
man,
see that? Did you see when that guy fucking? Did you see when that guy put it on a Hara Davis?
No, I didn't see this. What happened?
I can't remember. I can't remember his name now. I do know the fight as well, but it's my brain's gone blank. You know, Hara Davis talks a lot of shit. Well, he's talking shit about someone. He's doing an interview with Coon. And next minute, this guy seen him and goes straight up to him and goes, "What are you saying now, Ahara?" And Ahara was like, he looked a bit shook. And then all the and then they started like grabbing each other up. Then the camera went on the floor and you can hear Coogan trying to split up in the background. It's hilarious, man. I can't remember the guy who Ahara Davis was scuffling with. So any guys in the chat, the guys in the chat will know that. They're fucking boxing nuts.
Tyrone McKenna.
There's a guy from England too, Stu. He does videos on Coogan. He used to be a boxer. I just forget his name.
You're on about Tyron Booth.
Yes, that's it. That's him. I think he goes like this.
He's fucking. You know, he went 9 rounds with Kushubak. You know.
Yeah, that's him. That's him, bro. He said the thing about Coogan, he does it for pussy and views.
He does. Did you hear about when he got chucked out of Anthony Joshua's gym?
Yeah, he said Anthony Joshua threatened his life. I think he's funny, man. I watch it. I just recently found this channel. It was sort of by accident. I think I heard a comment of like the funniest boxing channel. Somebody mentioned it. I typed it in or something, and then there it was. And I subbed to him because that shit is funny. He said Tyson Fury threatened. I mean, not Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua threatened his life. Oh man. Yeah. So you know, like that guy, he doesn't take this shit serious. Like he's just a boxing fan.
Yeah, going back to that.
You know?
LBBC thing, the emotions.
He's an ex-boxer and he does boxing videos. I bet you he acts like a clown. I bet you he acts a bit like a clown on video, but I bet you try to step to him in real life, you're gonna have a nice fight on you.
Yeah, good point. Listen to, are these fighters, I'm talking about some of these PBC fighters, are they being influenced by the LBBC?
I don't know. Look,
you don't think so?
They could be if let's say they become aware that there's a channel that's following them and always constantly talking about them. You might want to have a good relationship. Like let's say Deontay Wilder, you know, I believe he's very much aware of the bigger channels that support him, like the Boxing Voice, right? Like that guy Ness, and it's, you know, he makes it no secret that he's a big fan of.
Yeah, but the thing is, recognise he did all that. He called the fucking DAZN everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they sponsor him. He takes money off DAZN, and now he's all up their ass. Yeah, get the app, go to this site. You know.
Yeah, oh, fucking shit.
Honestly, what he was saying, what a piece of shit it was. Then he gets a sponsor from him, and all of a sudden, they're the best thing in boxing. He's told, look, everyone's got to follow DAZN way. That's the way to go. You look at the fights they're putting, cussing everybody. That rings in the about DAZN.
I'm gonna say something you already know, Stu. Ness is from my side of the world. Not only that he's from America, he's from my side of the world. He's a typical New York, Jersey hustler. That's all he is. I ain't knocking him. I'm just saying he's your very typical Jersey, New York hustler. That's what he is.
Get that money.
Get that money, no matter how I gotta get it.
Yeah.
But you know he.
Oh, hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. Can I just answer this question before Thunderdome's asked me a question? Hang on a sec, Thunderdome. I'm going to get to the chat now. I need to go to my YouTube because it's gone past. Hang on, man. Oh, no, I'll answer that question. Where are we now? Fucking where's the chat? No. Oh, this is what I'm up against with this fucking chat. I'm telling you. Right, let's get.
The chat gets you worked up.
Oh yeah, because I'm using my phone. I don't really know how to do it all. Right, let's go down there. Right, hang on. Let me put it helps with a pause. Right, Stu. He says, Stu, who do you think will win between Jack Macy and Richard? Fuck off. Stu, who do you think will win between Jack Macy and Richard Rear-Porthy for the British title this weekend?
What the fuck is that, son?
Who's?
I think I dialed
somebody calling somebody.
Who's Scalbender? Who's Scalbender?
That's Pete the Greek.
Pete.
Pete.
Oh, Pete's calling me.
Oh,
Pete's calling me. But I'm going to be honest with you. That fight brings no interest to me whatsoever. I'm getting a bit of a snob recently, Thunderdome. I'm at the stage now where I have 3 kids that I have to look after. I've got a girlfriend that I have to see. I've got a job, and I just haven't got time to watch bum fights anymore. I'm sorry. I know.
Stu, I love your life, man. Stu, if I didn't get married, this is exactly what I'd be doing right now.
Hey, mate, I've got, like I said, I've got a new one on the go at the moment. She's all right, man. She's all right.
I can hear Stu talk about his little girlfriends on the side all day.
Yeah, I had a few of them. Like they've all gone, mate. They all got fucking fed up with me. But I've got a new one now.
You know, Stu, once upon a time I was living like that, man. You know.
Listen, mate. You know, we all have to settle down. The thing is, this new girl I'm seeing, I actually dated her at school when I was 15. That's the weird thing about it. And we haven't seen each other. We didn't see each other for 25 years. Then caught up with each other. Gave it another go, sort of thing. Unfinished business. Yeah. Unfinished business, if you get what I'm saying, boys.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how it goes. She might be a fucking retard like the rest of them were, and I'll get rid of her.
Oh, yeah, more than likely that's what's going to happen. But not after you have some fun.
Well, yeah.
Can we use some PC words?
Well, yeah, I'll let her give me shit until that happens.
All right, guys, remember we need to use PC words, all right?
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, YouTube is going crazy with that stuff now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty much, man.
Anyway.
What the hell were we talking about?
But,
so, Stu, you said polygamy? What did you say?
So again?
Polygamy?
No, I was just going off of what Bucho said.
Yeah.
You got to use the P word.
PC word.
PC.
Yeah.
Proper. Anyway.
Listen, mate. I'm sick of it. Like I said, these all around the internet this week, I've seen these fucking feminist mutts that can't even be bothered to shave their armpits, crying and whinging and whining about Boris Johnson being in charge. You know, the thing. Do you know what makes me laugh about white women? Why do they think they're the white knight in shining armor for minorities? They're always trying to protect someone or trying to play the do-gooding card. Well, they're all crying. They've all got their fucking tampons blooded up, ain't they? And all week they've been fucking moaning. I did a status on Facebook today. I said, these Labour female supporters, I said, spoiled, entitled. I went, what was the other words I used?
Privileged.
Something else and repulsive. I said, just everything I hate in a woman. I said, now go get your fucking self back in the kitchen. That's what I said.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
That's where they need to be.
All right, let me
They wanna
just say
be-
that
Chelino Sanchez said Stuart vibrate. Someone said he said about my vibrator. Stu's vibrator going crazy. Yep, it is. Your mum likes it on fourth gear.
the views and opinions expressed are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of BDA Boxing.
Amen.
Yeah.
It's a
BDA
family
is
show, people. You know
Amen.
this.
BDA channel.
Family
is a
show.
very, they support Trudeau. They support Angela Merkel.
Absolutely. Thank God he won again. 337,
support,
you're on the air. 337.
Jeremy Corbyn.
Hey, what's up, family?
His bags.
What's up, family? It's Dead Game Boxing.
Oh, Dead Game. What's up? What's on your
Dead
mind?
Game?
Oh, man, just listening to y'all talking about white women, so I decided to call in.
Talk to us about what Spence said.
Dead Game it is white girls. You know what I mean?
What's going on? What we talking about?
Spence calling, you know what?
Timothy Bradley, the C word.
C word? Clitoris.
Oh. Yeah, I've always said that word be used around a little too loosely.
I think he should have called him company man. That's what I think he should have called him.
Yeah, company man would have been better.
Yeah.
I mean, Bradley does have his little, Bradley's a little, he's okay. But, he does act a little different sometimes.
Could you expand upon that?
Man, I mean, I think, I just think that, Terrence Crawford was getting a little shine, and Terrence Crawford is finally calling people out. And let's just see who's going to jump, who's going to bite,
Let me ask you something, Dead Game. Would you have been okay with, I would have been okay if Spence would have said something to Bradley like, shut your mouth. You were scheduled to fight me and you chose to retire, right? And nobody's scared of your boy. He don't want that smoke. He's purposely on the wrong side of the street. I would have been fine with that, me personally, right? I'd have been like, all right, that's some warrior shit right there. That means he's planning to get back in the ring, hopefully, and and maybe by calling out Spence will Crawford would make some concessions as well, right? But he took the route like he called them the mighty C word, that's supposed to hurt black people all the time. I mean, black people are just supposed to be afraid of that word all the time, right? For having a different opinion or different side of the fence or whatever. I think that would have been more appropriate for him to do that, where it almost makes him look like he was salty about that with calling him. To me, he was a bit salty to call, like almost like Bradley was speaking some truth. Now I know there's always two sides of the fence, so I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm not going to say that. But he with that comment, to me, he made off like a guy who was hurt because Bradley spoke some truth to what he was saying. I would like your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it looked like, everybody know that I'm a black man, right? And
I thought you were Puerto Rican.
I didn't know that.
I thought you was Puerto Rican.
No, I'm black.
For real.
No, I'm black.
Say
No,
viva. Viva. ¿Qué pasa, hombre?
Go ahead, Degger.
Well, something that's very dangerous is an emotional man, and when you get emotional, you do irrational things. To me, I think it was totally uncalled for. I mean, if it would have been me, I would have said, look, 2020, I'll be back. Let's let it go, man. We gonna fight. As a boxing fan, I think they're doing us a disservice to the fans by holding up this fight. I think it has a lot to do with Al Heyman and Bob Arum and their differences.
Agree.
But to me, I just believe that he should have just, if he would have said anything, because he hadn't been saying anything. Why say something now? You know, if you're
I
gonna
don't know
say
if
something, if you're gonna
I don't know if
say
Heyman's the sort of guy that gets into wars, though. He's never around to get in a war. You've got to be actually around people to
Where
do
is
that.
he?
And so I think it's more Aram. Aram takes digs at Eddie Hearn, then he'll be in a press conference saying how great it is to work with him. So that's Aram for you, you know. He's a bitter old man, isn't he? Let's be real. He's a bitter and twisted old man, and I think Heyman's a piece of shit in a different way, if you get what I'm saying. So I think they clash, and I think the fighters have obviously they're going to take their guy's side, and I think it's become a PBC v Aram sort of thing going down. So I think we'll see a bit more. I think because, like I said,
my thing is
there'll be other fights that these guys are going to have to make. So I'm not sure if they're going to get together and make the things happen. Because let's be real, these fights are going to happen. Spencer's got to fight. If Spence gets out of his fucking Steven Seagal coma, then he has to fight.
Steven Seagal.
Well, he has to fight fucking Crawford, doesn't he? You know, there's other fights. I mean, Al Heyman's got some decent fighters, and so has Bob Arum. So there's fights to be made, and you just bury the hatchet. Let's be real. Don King would make a fight with anybody, and Don King, we all know.
And Don King had beef with everybody.
He had beef with every fucker. Listen, Frank Warren sued Don King, won in court, took millions off him, and Don King still made fights with him after that. Business. You do not bring emotions into business. Anyone that runs a business or knows anything about business, you do not bring your emotions into it. You don't. That's why it's good not to have your family working for you.
Dude, look at the screen. Look at the screen.
Yeah, that's it. That's Errol, isn't it? That's Errol. Just darken the skin up a little bit. That's Errol. He'll be there for another 10 years. He'll come back and fucking Teofimo Lopez will be about 38.
I hope you're wrong. I hope Errol Spence comes back and he's all less the same fighter. Because
listen, I want him to be. I want him to be.
Of course.
I was very impressed with his last fight.
Here's the issue. The issue that I'm having, and I want to recognize this because I think I've heard him in the past say that he used to fight, he used to box.
Yes.
All right. I'm a Bud Crawford fan. I've been following Bud Crawford since he had the braids. Tell me this: is he? I like the fight, bro. He came forward. He took punishment. You take punishment when you're in the line of fire. I understand that. But does he look like he didn't respect Kalvanauskas? Or is he slowing down? Or he didn't take it serious? His body didn't look the same. He just looked a little, maybe not as quick. I mean, is he slowing down or
Good question. Good question. I think, okay, don't take this the wrong way. Bud Crawford is past his prime when it comes to being elusive. That's natural. He's in his 30s, right? So when you start hitting your 30s, that doesn't mean you're past your primes. There's certain things you can't do as good. I'll give you a perfect example. In baseball, shortstop. A shortstop loses his prime in terms of how he can defend his position when he's in his upper 20s. That doesn't mean he's past his prime. He's still good at other things. In terms of covering ground, he's not in his prime. So let's take Bud Crawford. In terms of elusiveness, he's a bit past his prime now.
Or is it, I recognize? Is it that he's actually fighting guys his own size now and his attributes are not...
There you go. That's another thing, too. So now he's fighting guys his own size. Stu brings up a great point. I think Bud Crawford is misunderstood by some people that may over-exaggerate. Whether it's what they can't understand what they're seeing. He's a fighter. Bud Crawford is a fighter.
He's a dog.
You got to take that away from him. If you can take that away from him, you could possibly beat him. And Kalvanauskas didn't have what it takes in the long run.
I tell you what, Kalvanauskas, he give it a go. He put it all on the line. Just weren't good enough on the end of the night. And like I said, you can do the best training camp you've ever had. You can have a nutrition. You can have this fucking Ben Davison's game plan. And it doesn't mean anything if you ain't good enough. And that was a problem with Kalvanauskas. Crawford used brute and strength to get through that fight, because when he tried to box Kavaliauskas, he was actually getting outboxed.
You know what's going to be a test for him, Dead Game? If he ever fights Shawn Porter. That's going to be the real test for him, because what does Shawn Porter do? He comes at you. He's going to fight you. I think that's Crawford's best tool, is when he fights you, and obviously he finds out in the fight that he's actually stronger, or he has more longevity, more endurance than you do. You're pretty much a dead man if Terrence Crawford finds out these things in the fight. I don't know if he could do that against Shawn Porter, and that's not a knock towards him. It's just that Shawn Porter is that good. If he can outlast Shawn Porter and beat him, right? It'll tell you where he's at, because that's more or less towards his style. Boxing wise, if he decides to box with you, there's a good chance you're going to outbox him if you're a good boxer. Because I think that people think that he's this excellent boxer. Yes, he can switch it up. And don't get me wrong, he's very good at what he does.
He's no sweepy.
But he's
But
not,
the thing is,
he's not
it's recognized.
He's not Floyd Mayweather.
No.
He's a mixture of a brawler that has elusiveness. And to your point, that you think that there's a little slowdown. I observed that too, and I attribute that to him being in his 30s. He's not old. What that means is the elusiveness is starting to slow down, and he has to now more fight.
Listen,
because he's now a little bit more flat-footed.
We had a guy in the fucking comment section of the last video. I mean, I think he's using his mother's account on YouTube, because it's Dolores.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think Butcho said about it. I mean, if you're going to use your... I mean, like, the way it was such a bitch, I thought it was a real female at first. At the end of the day, he had said something about what I said, because I said Kell Brook would be a hard fight for Terrence Crawford if Kell Brook's fit. But this guy, obviously Dolores, this woman, this guy, whoever it is, doesn't understand boxing. And what I meant by that was that straight right hand by Kell Brook, one of the best in the business, has a lot of pop in it. Rocked Shawn Porter to his boots, by the way, more than once. Yeah, and it can control a fight. That lead right hand he throws, he's got a lovely jab. Straight punches are the key when you're fighting Terrence Crawford. Look how wide his shots are. They're wide shots, man, and that's why Kavaliauskas, for me, he was average at best. I mean, a lot of people are giving him credit. Credit for what? He got his ass whooped. I don't give credit. I mean, what? Oh, here you go, pat on the back because you're still alive, mate. Well done. No. You lost the fight. You got your ass whooped. You were getting punched all over the place. Yes, he dropped Crawford. The straight punches were the key. Crawford thinks he's a boxer. I totally agree with Recognize. He's not. He's a fighter, a very good fighter, and because he's got technical ability and he's quite crisp with his punches. When you're a fighter and you're crisp with your punches, you're going to be a hard man to beat, because when he's letting his hands go, all sorts of things are happening to these guys. So he's obviously got a bit of pop, but straight punches to the key. He was getting rocked by Kavaliauskas by the right hand, rocked to his boots. If that's Kell Brook landing that, he's asleep. If that's Errol Spence landing that, he's asleep. I tell you what, even the young lad Virgil Ortiz that we were talking about, he's asleep. So this is my problem with Crawford. I've got him on my pound for pound list for what he's achieved, but I'm not going to sit here and listen to people tell me he's a fucking world-class pound for pound boxer, because he's not. I've seen him get outboxed by Benavidez. He had to take it to the trenches to win that one. I saw him get outboxed by who is it? Who is it now? Mine's gone, but you know where I'm going.
Delorme? How about Delorme? Delorme was winning like the first 3 rounds.
Postal
was just an ugly fight. That was such a look.
Both of them were shit. I mean, I gotta be honest. But hold on, let's just Dead Game still on the line. Dead Game. Anything else?
Sorry. Go ahead, Dead Game.
No, man. I mean, that's just one thing, man. I just kind of noticed his body was a little soft. I think maybe he did. I mean, he said that Kavaliauskas was a very good competition. He was talking about going to the Olympics twice, and he was bigging up Kavaliauskas. I mean, that could have been for promotion, but I just kind of noticed a little bit different type of Crawford. I don't know if he came in there to prove a point and just wanted to come forward, because he didn't even take a step back. He didn't move like the normal Crawford I would see moving. His body,
he tried to, brother. He tried to, just got outboxed. He was getting outboxed. The straight punches were killing him. This is what I'm saying. Crawford's so wide, he hangs around far too long, mid-range in the pocket. He's easy to hit. Doesn't move his head. It's a nightmare for him. So what did he do? He got behind his guard, strolled forward, and used his strength and his punching ability, his technical punching ability. Because let's be real, he's not launching these. He's not launching these shots like Deontay Wilder from his fucking ankles. These are technically sound shots that are hurting every time they land. A bit like Golovkin, the way it's very like Golovkin, the way he strolls forward and throws them wide shots. All sorts of trouble they're getting these guys in. So they're very good fighters. But Crawford, whenever he tries to box, he looks horrible and he gets outboxed at times.
Now, I just want to say something. Is this, I mean, before the fight, there were talks about poor ticket sales and the fact that the odds were really, like, the other guy, Kavaluskas, had no chance of beating Crawford, basically. So, did Crawford have to fight this way, though, to put on the show, based on everything that was going on?
I think he had to fight this way more than just the show. He had to fight this way because I don't think trying to outbox Kavaluskas was going to work for him. Or he just would have made things harder for himself. Look, there's a reason why fighters do what they do. I mean, at the end of the day, it's fighting. It's to try to take minimum damage and give maximum damage. So his game plan was he went in there, felt Kavaluskas out. He felt him out, and he realized, I got to take it to him because I know I could break him down. That's
Jin in the chat. Jin in the chat is put laughing my fucking ass off in capitals. I think if he puts it in capital, it probably makes it a little bit like he's laughing more or something. I don't know why he's putting capitals. He's put that at my comment about Benavidez outboxing Crawford. Now, if you understand what I'm trying to say, which you obviously don't, low IQ, you'll go back and watch that fight. He was getting out jabbed. The straight punches. He was getting out boxed at range at time. It was only when he took the fight to Benavidez and started slugging is when he was beating him up. Go back and watch the fight. I know what I see. I have eyes. They work. You can sit there, LFA or whatever. It's laughing my fucking ass off in capitals. It don't make you right. Go back and watch the fight.
It's just like what Kavaluskas was doing in the first.
Exactly the same, brother.
Exactly the same. Bud tried to box him and he got caught out there, and he's like, and I noticed it like after the knockdown that they called a slip. He got up, and then that's when he started looking at Kavaluskas like when the bell rang for the next round before they could get in their corners. He looked at Kavaluskas and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up next round," and that's when he started taking it to him because he said, this boxing shit is going out the door, but I'm going to stay the way I am. I ain't going to switch. I'm going to show him that I'm going to beat his ass. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, that's a sign of a very good fighter, though, because Tyson Fury did it against Sean Cunningham. Go back and watch that fight. Sean Cunningham was outboxing Tyson Fury. The speed was killing him, right? So he had to take it to the trenches. What happened? He started leaning on Cunningham, leaning all over him, putting elbows in his face, hitting into the body, in the pocket. Before you know it, Cunningham can barely stand on his 2 feet, and he takes him out.
This is why I say
adapting to tactics.
This is why I say Floyd Mayweather's a special fighter. He's a special fighter. As much criticism I give him in terms of like the bullshit, right? This is why I say Floyd is a great fighter. If you look at Floyd Mayweather's career, there have been many instances when he found out he cannot outbox a fighter because he's catching punches coming in. He's catching the punches in the exchange, or something's not working. He decides to start fighting, and when he decides to start fighting, Floyd knows that he has 9 out of 10 times the speed advantage. Look at Cotto. In the first 3 to 4 rounds, he was outboxing Cotto. Cotto came in the mid rounds. He made adjustments, and Floyd was fighting off the back foot, and he was catching Floyd, putting him on the ropes, catching Floyd. Floyd, towards the later rounds, made a switch, right? In the second half, somewhere around 8 or 9, I'm going to say the 9th round, he made a switch, and he said, now I'm going to start fighting Miguel Cotto.
Yeah.
Okay? Because why? He realized he cannot fight off the back foot. So all this ideology of I'd rather not get hit and just win the fight. It's called adjustments. You make adjustments in the fight. When one thing is not working, you do the other thing. The reason why Floyd Mayweather decided to fight with him, let me finish this one point quick, Stu. The reason why is because Floyd knows that he can fight also. Floyd knows he knows how to fight too. Okay? So when he decided to fight, there's no it's not a coincidence. It's not a thing of luck that's when he started having his success and he pulled out the fight against Miguel Cotto.
Listen, my point about Benavidez Crawford, look, and the facts are there. So, like I said, you can laugh all you like, but why did Crawford change it up if he was outboxing Benavidez? If it was working, go back. He was losing the jab battle. How can you outbox someone and lose the jab battle? Look, even the best fighters are in there with the guys sometimes that they just can't figure out. Lomachenko, probably pound for pound number one in most people's eyes, a lot of people's anyway. The guy he's been in the ring at times and he's been getting outboxed at range, and he's had to switch it up in the pocket and go beast mode, and that's when he's turn the fight around. Pedraza was one. Linares another one. He's done it plenty of times where he's had to get in the pocket and start brawling. Like Salido, he nearly turned it around. He's had to get in the pocket and start brawling because his boxing at range is not working. And he's a master at it. Sometimes a style can be all wrong for you. And with long arms, straight punches, technically very fast, sharp punches, straight punches that Pedraza and Linares has got. Luke Campbell as well. It's a nightmare for Lomachenko. So what does he do? He has to mix it up, get in the pocket and start brawling, and that's when he beats these guys up. So even the best of the best can get outboxed at times. Not outboxed where they're getting schooled. I mean, where my idea of outbox is if you're the boxer and what you're doing is not working, then you're getting outboxed. If you've had to change it up, then you're getting outboxed. It's simple. Because if it's working, you wouldn't have to change it up and get in the pocket and go to war.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
hey, real quick,
changing it
Yeah,
up.
go ahead. Let that game go ahead.
I'm sorry,
real quick, look, I just want to say, look, you keep up the good work. If y'all can later on touch on Tyson's Fury new training, how that's going to affect the situation, and y'all guys have a blessed day, brother. Peace out.
Peace, that game.
Peace, that game.
Yeah, we can talk about that too. Stu called it. Well, he didn't call it, but he.
Oh, the Ben Davis breakup,
he's been complaining about Ben Davis for a long time, and it's so funny because the day after we talked about it, he got fired.
Is he being trained by Emmanuel Stewart's son? Is that who's training him?
I don't know if he's his son, but he's from the Kronk's gym, yeah. But
see that's the sort of style. That's the sort of style that Tyson needs. That's perfect for him. Look, I've been calling it from day one. If I'm seeing it, Tyson Fury's got to be seeing it. He's forgot more about boxing than I'll ever know. If I'm seeing it, he's got to be seeing it. So I've been saying it from day one. The guy's a glorified padman. His tactics on the night nearly got Tyson Fury killed. And I keep hearing about this master game plan he came up with. No, you fight and nearly got killed in the ring. Did you just see what happened? It's only that he come up with this Undertaker shit where he got up and the fight carried on. Anyone else they'd still be asleep now. So,
what about when Otto Wallin almost took his fucking eye out?
Yeah, that was.
What about that game plan, eh?
What about that game plan?
You've got a 20-inch cut on your eye. Yeah. I know. Let's go to war and get it hit even more, and let the guy get close to you so he can headbutt you again on it. Fuck, get Ben Davison out of here, man. Telling you, I'm not going sentimental stuff because he's a young guy. No, he's far too young to be calling world title fights. Far too. You've got to have experience. What world title fight has he ever been in? When's he ever been there where his fighter's getting beat up and he's got to change things? He's been in an atmosphere when everyone's against your fighter and you've got to come up with a game plan. It's like I said, it's a bit like when you're in there. It's a bit like being a fighter. It's just fucking. You've got to prove your worth.
Even
he didn't do that.
Canelo, what's his name? Eddie Reynoso. He's kind of young to be a trainer, in my opinion, also, and that showed in the Mayweather fight. I think not only Canelo was inexperienced, but also his trainer, in my opinion. Both of them.
Yeah. But Reynoso is growing, and let's face it. Look, we like to give these trainers a lot of credit, but. Can we say he's just got the right guy in front of him? I mean, you got a future Hall of Famer.
He does.
That's not just going into the Hall of Fame. He's going to one of the elite parts of the Hall of Fame. So a lot of that has to do with the fighter you end up training.
Good point.
You know,
Good
you don't
point.
have to motivate a guy like Canelo. I mean, that boy will fucking inject himself by himself. He doesn't need you. So you get what I'm saying?
Look,
Like,
I'll tell you what, Ben Davison, I'll tell you what he should do. He should start looking at the new talent coming through, the young kids, stick with them and try and mould them around his fighting style. And the time they're ready, he'll be ready as a trainer so they can grow together. This guy's had no business in the ring that night. Like I said, what did he do? He got his fighter nearly killed. That's what he fucking did. So, no, same with Joe Gallagher. Joe Gallagher's always got a game plan, isn't he? Yeah, lose the first 7 and win the last 5. Swat.
Do you think Fury had a chit chat with his family, or he just realized this by himself?
What?
Do you think that Tyson Fury had a chit chat with his family?
At the end of the day, I think his dad probably had a big say in it because I know his dad can't stand the.
Yes.
You got to remember, his dad is a fighting man. His dad knows boxing. He's been in gyms all his life. He knows a good trainer when he sees one. I mean, you're talking about a young kid, a narcissist that told Freddie Roach to be quiet because his game plan was better. Get out of here.
People think that
he told Freddie Roach to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah, well, basically, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but you know, basically,
I'm paraphrasing too. It was something to that effect. It was just like, yeah, I know you're Freddie Roach, but
shut your mouth, old man.
Yeah.
Stu always goes off on Ben Davison, and he should, and he was right. What just happened just vindicated what he kept saying.
Joe Gallagher as well. Joe Gallagher as well, right? So he's come out with some of the worst game plans I've ever seen in the boxing ring. I mean, really, look at the Quig Frampton game plan. Like I said, lose the first 7 on the cards and come on strong in the last few. I'm not a fucking, I'm not a maths professor or anything, but when I'm adding up, that don't work right if it goes to the distance. You're going to lose on the pot. You know, the guy, every one of Joe Gallagher's fighters fight the same. They all fight the same. Cover up behind that guard, take loads of punishment, and throw a few counters here and there, and that's it. And then when he's in the corner,
you were spot on. You were so spot on when you said, and this is, I don't know if it's Ben Davison or Tyson Fury or a mixture of both. For the life of me, I cannot understand why Tyson Fury didn't want to sit on any of those punches against Wilder. And Stu was screaming like, why is he continue to do this pity pat and then start playing games at the
12th
same
round
time?
When he sat on his punches, what happened?
Okay, exactly. And
why the thing is, though, to recognise,
got dropped.
I'll tell you what, right? Fucking playing at that range, pissing around, dancing around at that range against Deontay Wilder is like running across a fucking minefield in Vietnam.
Yeah,
one's going to explode on your chin eventually, mate, and you can't. You're not going to avoid Wilder for 36 minutes. I'm telling you that fucking now. Two people have. One nearly died, and the other one, Stavern, I think he took hell of a beating, but I think Wilder broke his hand that day, so he wasn't really throwing it with all the venom that he had. I think that's what he broke his right hand that day. So, I think if Wilder had a fresh hand, he'd have been sleeping as well. So this guy, you're not lasting 36 minutes with this guy. I'll tell you, he's crap at boxing, technically horrible, and he's not very busy. So he's everything I hate in a fighter. But I can see he's got a right hand, and when he lands it, all sorts of things happen.
Now, all the blame shouldn't go on Ben Davison.
You've got to get Wilder out.
Ben Davison.
It's like Lomachenko, when we said earlier the other day. To beat Lomachenko, you've got to spark him out.
You got to spark him out. The longer the fight goes, he's winning. He's beating you.
Yeah. Let's be real. Tyson Fury was a fraction of a second away from losing that fight when he had it under control. And like I said, Wilder was flagging. Wilder was there for the take. Wilder could have been stopped that night. I'll tell you what, if that was Joshua that had Wilder like that, that'd have been stopping.
Yeah. I think he would have understood that.
Now,
I got a man that I could start landing some power.
Tyson Fury needs to start biting on his gum shield and getting these fucking guys out of there. He's earning big money now. I think that the days of the pitter-patter back foot Floyd Mayweather stuff, no one wants to watch that no more. They want to see good boxing skills. Don't get me wrong. We don't want to see Arturo Gattis every week, but we want to see a bit of fight. And I think Tyson Fury, too many times, he's gone in there trying to pop shot his way to a points win.
Yep.
I want to say something. Just that the phone lines are still open. People, we were talking initially about Well, that's the main topic of today. If you agree with what Errol Spence Jr. said about Timothy Bradley, what he called him, the C word, the clitoris word, and the raccoon, yeah, the raccoon. Call him a raccoon. All right. So guys, call in and let us know what you thought about that. We're gonna continue talking about Fury over here. Oh, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. All right, support BDA Boxing. I was gonna say that. Can we blame Ben Davison? Can we blame Ben Davison on, like, because Fury is also, he's an experienced fighter. He fought that way. He fought that way against Wilder because it's his fault.
I'm gonna say yeah. This is why. I'm gonna tell. Okay, so first of all, they went and hired Freddie Roach as a co-trainer, right? If I'm remembering right, you guys correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't know what he wasn't second, I guess. Yeah, he wasn't the main trainer, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
What Freddie Roach would have told him, what Freddie Roach would have said to him is, I'm imagining what he would have said, right? Look, you got a guy that you're hitting him more than he can hit you. Okay, that's called at will. It's over exaggerating, but in boxing corners, it's you're hitting him at will. That means that I'm basically 2-1 you, right? So that means that I can hit you with 2 when you can hit me with only 1, right? What he would have said was what I think was Stu was saying that he needed to do. Stay away from his radar. Get in his chest, which automatically makes you planted. It makes your foot more planted to the ground. It makes you hit harder. That's what I think he would have told him to do. That's simple. Do a little bit of that. Get out of Dodge's way if you feel you have to, but when close that range up and start hitting him with some harder shots. Okay? Because if you stand on the outside, fucking moving your head back and forth, playing around, he's going to catch you. And if he catches you, we know what he could do. I mean, there's no doubt. Wilder would knock you out.
Look.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you got to do. That is exactly what you've got to do. Because like I said, this guy as well, when he's throwing a hook, it's not even a hook, is it? Let's be real. It's like a swinging clothesline. So, and the time he's thrown that fucking thing is so wide, you could throw 3 or 4 combinations, straight punches in him. I mean, he's there for the taking. Why can't any of these trainers see that? I just don't get it. That's what I'm saying. A lot of guys that are especially boxing trainers, they might know how to throw combinations on the pads and stuff, and they might know a few things about fitness and the nutrition and that lot. But when it comes to actually reading a fight, I don't think a lot of them really know how to do that. They seem to get it wrong so often. I know it's easier said than done. I know it's easier said than done, right? Because everyone's got a game plan to get punched in the face. But even if you go in there with a game plan and you can see the idea that they're trying to do, like if you had gone in there and took it to Wild and got knocked out, fair enough. But I could see the game plan; it was the right thing to do. So you can't really moan. You just got beat by the better guy. But when he's fighting in a way that is everything his opponent wants, because he's got one punch in his arsenal, and if you're at long range where he can fucking let it go, pull it back, let it go, and he hits you, you know what happened.
Can I just say something? We have like 91 people listening and only 38 likes.
Yeah, come on, man. Hit that like button.
Come on.
You low-life savages. You low-life savages. Not even
It's not like you have to pay. You're not paying for...
Look at the hours.
This is supposed to be the best chat on the YTBC.
They can't even be bothered to get their fat fingers on the like button.
Yeah, that's gonna help Stu. Like insulting the people in the chat.
Yeah, watch the dislikes start going up now.
Oh
Hit
man!
the like button, man. Come on.
I'm joking, guys. Look, we're not asking for much. Just a donation and a like. There's not a lot to ask, really, is there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some
It's
shekels,
Christmas, just
like
call
Mr.
it
BDA
$10,
says.
Jay.
All right, so this is great news for Tyson Fury fans. Very good news. Ben Davison's out. I'm even more excited now.
I like the fact that I'm with Stu on this one. I like the fact that he told Ben listen, Ben Davison there was a sense of loyalty and something that I wanted to mention when Stu was talking about Tyson Fury's dad. I think that at the end, Tyson Fury listens to his dad. I think that sometimes because of Tyson's personality, there's a clash between him and his father. But ultimately, he's going to listen to him. Ultimately, in the end, he's going to listen to him. So Ben Davison was sort of that. There was a bit of a clash between him and his pops. He noticed his pops was angry, and anybody knows about father-son relationships sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes you want to keep your father angry, because maybe he's pissing you off in other things. And I think at the end, he said, I'm going to listen to my father. This is the man who raised me.
See, the thing is, recognise, right? If I can see he's useless, just by watching him in the corner for 36 minutes.
Tyson Fury knew he's useless, yes.
The guy's with him every day. The guy's with him.
So
that's why I say he was despiting his pops.
Do you think that yeah, exactly.
John Fury, like I said, John Fury might be a lot of things, but stupid when it comes to boxing is definitely not one of them. He understands the sport well. He understands that Ben Davison did everything wrong he could have. There was nothing I saw from Ben Davison and them camps to convince me he was the right man for the job, and that's why I've been calling him to get the sack. And it's not because I want to pick on a young guy I don't like because he's younger than me. I don't like. Nah, I wanted him to do well, but like I said, you can't nearly get a man killed and then expect to be fucking respected by me. That's for sure.
Do you guys think that Tyson Fury he kept Ben Davison just to defy his father in a way? But at some point he realized, you know what, I can't keep this guy. I really need to improve, and so he finally caved in.
I think so. It's hard to get, but I think I go to what Stu was saying. If he can see, and a lot of other people can see, that Ben Davison is not a good trainer. Tyson Fury, who knows more boxing than us, okay? Look, we could be in our 40s, been in the gym. We've never been at that level, okay? Even if you were pro, you've never been at Tyson Fury's level. He's forgotten more about boxing than we would know. So he knew Ben Davison was not the perfect fit for him. I think there was a little dig at his pop. That was the way for him. But at the end of the day, he probably really loyal to his father. He got over his anger, whatever it was that, had him pissed off with the big man. And they talked, and he said, look, man, listen, son, that kid ain't no good for you. Get rid of him. And he probably said, you know what, my pops is right.
I mean, SSB 28, I think it is, or 6. Well, I can't see it because my eyes are bad. Stu, do you think? I'm gonna set up for fuck's sake.
I'll look for it. Stu, do you think Ben Davison?
Stu, do you think Ben Davison might have been the one to jump ship? Because he could see the ship was sinking with the rest of. Look, who's Ben Davison to jump ship on Tyson Fury? I mean, it's not like. Hey, I don't see all these legends of the sport calling him to train him. Where's all these fighters that he's going to go and see when he leaves Tyson? He's going to be back to the fucking where he was. Do you know what I mean? Holding spit buckets. So of course do you think he's going to leave? Even if he was getting 7% of what Tyson Fury was earning? You know what I mean? Where is he going to go? Of course, he's not going. He's not gone anywhere. Tyson Fury Billy Joe Saunders left him. One training camp. Billy Joe Saunders left him. What's that telling you?
Yeah, it's him. It's him. He's inexperienced. It's not.
He's an arrogant little prick. He's an arrogant little prick as well.
Yeah. So you're inexperienced and you're arrogant. Bad combination. He needs to be leveled. He needs to find out about who he really is. See, when you're arrogant, and you don't know shit, that's when you find out. Like, dude. Your attitude is way bigger than what you really know, and nobody's gonna deal with you. That's why I say, look, I think that Tyson Fury was doing the whole Ben Davis thing. There was an extra motive that's maybe a bit outside of boxing. It had something to do with his father, and ultimately he listened to his pops.
Right. I've got a couple of comments here. Stu, blood pressure. Okay, little.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean the blood pressure. The thing is, right, I do get a bit excited when I talk about Ben Davison because I'm all over the TV. I've been hearing this is the British Emmanuel Stewart according to Sky Sports. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. I mean, who else have we got here? We got. I see another comment. Stu, hold on there, young whippersnapper. Let me grab my spectacles. These guys are fucking retards, man. That's it. That's it for now. I saw another one, but I can't bother to find it. So, go on, crack on. Rose says, Stu, see the thing here is little. I don't know what these guys are talking about.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Because we all have a little saying we do. You do say the thing is.
It's just how you start. Yeah, I mean, let's be real. I mean, coming on here speaking hours and hours about boxing is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah. I have a habit of saying, right?
Yeah.
I want somebody to say, no, I don't agree. Right when I say that. Right? You know, I'll say something, yeah, right? I want someone to say, no, you're not right. You're wrong.
My favorite ones, my most popular one is "Let's be real."
Yeah,
I like
be
to
real.
Yeah, let's be real here.
Then I started using that, and my girlfriend was like, "Why are you saying that all the time now?" And I'm like, "Fuck, I took it from Stu."
Do you know what? Right, I've had a few people tell me that, especially Americans and Canadians and stuff, like how they started to say words that I say and stuff, and they can't help it. I think too much of listening to me, I'm afraid.
Now I keep calling it cheese and toast. I'm like, what the fuck? No, I'm joking.
Cheese and toast.
Recognize. How was your cheese and toast the other day? Because you said you had some.
Fabulous, man. Fabulous.
It was good.
Wonderful. You know what I had it with?
Yeah.
I had it with some tea. It was excellent.
God.
Yeah.
You need to sprinkle some black pepper on it next time.
Oh, black. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna
sprinkle
try
a bit of black. Because you do it in the grill, don't you? You cook one side, then turn it over, then put the cheese on and cook it like that. But then you put sprinkle some black pepper on there, mate. Or you can even stick a bit of onion in there and let it grill into the cheese.
I've done the onion.
English cuisine.
I've done the onion.
Cheese and toast.
Cheese and toast, mate. It's
cheese
quite
and
simple.
toast.
And that's why I got so angry with my girlfriend that time when she got it wrong. I sent her back 3 times, didn't I?
My God, if you get that wrong, man, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
She gave me one side bread, one side toast with cheese on it. I'm like, what the fuck? One side bread.
God.
Yeah, that's terrible, man. That's when you know she's only good for one thing, right? Right, Stu?
Yeah, she weren't even fucking any good at that either.
No. Out.
Yeah, you're out of here.
Hey, guys, should Wilder fans be concerned about this? Because there were some rumors going around that, Tyson Fury is not taking this fight seriously again because he's thinking about wrestling and about, being in the UFC or something. Like, he's already thinking, he has already a foot out boxing. But now he's changing trainers. So
I think that's a gimmick. Tyson Fury knows where his bread and butter is at, boxing. You know,
interesting.
He may get confused with himself here and there, and I could see that. But trust me, when he goes into that fight, he's going to be ready. Win or lose, he's going to be ready for that fight. And so, yeah, maybe they should be concerned.
Okay.
Fury fans should be concerned too, because all it takes is one punch.
This is Wilder fans right now.
Bob, I got a bad feeling on this one, all right? I got a bad feeling.
Everybody gotta die sometime.
That's right.
That's right. We all got to go.
And I think Wilder's I want to go. And I'm telling you, it would be ironic. I hope to God this doesn't happen. But Wilder keeps saying that he wants to kill someone in the ring. God damn it. If he's the one that dies in the ring, that would be something, man. That would be fucked up, though.
Well, if that happened to him, hey, listen, it's part of the game, and you got to be careful what you say, especially when you're a part of the game. That way.
Because like I said, one day someone might do an Emil Griffith on him.
It could happen. That's right.
Oh man!
The thing about Wilder is we're not talking about a guy who has great defense.
Exactly.
So he's there. He's there to be hit.
Yeah. And you're in the heavyweight division.
One day where he doesn't get up.
Yeah. And you're fighting big guys here. No defense like that. You're asking for it.
I think his name is Chelino Sanchez in the chats. Put some semen on it. He's on about the tight cheese and toast. This is what we're up against, guys. This is what we're up against. The guy that wants semen melted into his cheese and toast.
Well, his boyfriend did that for him. So
yeah.
So he thinks that everybody's gonna like stuff like that. I don't know.
My God. I was gonna say we have the best chat on YouTube, but now I don't know, man.
Savages.
Oh, that is one sorry ass motherfucker.
All right. Steven Schneider says, anyone else think Fury's getting slapped? No, the opposite. Wilder's
he could get slapped, but we already seen him take good punches from Wilder, and it could happen, of course, man.
Hey, the fact that Ben Davis has gone has made me more confident. I'm actually favouring Fury to come through this one. I know it's a very hard task but let's be real, this guy, you can outbox him. You've just got to keep away from that. I know it's not easier said than done, but if you take the range from that right hand, he's useless with it because, like I said, the hooks are not coming. When was the last time he threw a world-class uppercut to someone, or a nice short uppercut to the body, or a nice little left hook to the body? You don't throw them shots.
I guess Ortiz. So no, wait. He only threw like one punch and landed one punch.
Boy, I tell you, if Gerald Washington had a fucking temperament of a fighter, he probably washes fucking Wilder. He had the perfect game plan for the first 3 rounds. And that was it. After that, he turned into a coward.
Good question by SB26. My eyes are really bad because it's a Butcho's put it on here in really small letters, so I'm struggling.
Okay, let me change.
Stu says, what should Wilder do to combat Fury's new possible style? He has to stay on the back foot and just keep throwing the right hand and hope it lands. What else can he do? I mean, he's not going to come. There's no tactical game plans with Deontay Wilder. You saw that against Ortiz. He lost the first 7 rounds. There's nothing he can do. He can land and win the fight by stoppage. That's all he can do. And
that's what he does.
He's got to be at the right range to do that. So he's got to be on the back foot. He's got to hope that Fury comes to him. This fight could be quite boring, to be honest with you. I was thinking that.
It was kind of boring in the first fight.
Yeah, this could be even more negative because they know what to expect from each other. So if Tyson Fury fights out, obviously he's going to have to come forward, which means Wilder's going to have to be on the back foot, and he's going to have to find the right timing and the right range and throw that right hand every time Tyson Fury gets into range, sort of thing, and just hope one lands. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, with Wilder, this guy's got Mark Breland in the corner, and this guy can't even teach him how to throw a left hook.
No. He probably gave up already on that. I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't even try to practice that during training camp. It's pointless. By the way, guys, we have a phone call, 929. You're on the air, 929.
What's up, guys? Virtual also.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, Virtual?
Hey, what's going on, guys? So I was just watching, a live stream of Boxing Eagle, right? First of all, this guy gives out, moderator privileges, like he's giving out Halloween candy, man. There's a lot of guys that be spamming emojis, man. It's a little retarded. But he was kind of just criticizing, Timothy Bradley, about the way he's basically, hollering about PBC fighters, not wanting to fight Terrence Crawford. I mean, I do agree, he is he is emotional, but him saying that the way he bags on about Crawford and talks all the shit, it's it strains a relationship between Bob Arum and Al Heyman, which that could be the case, but it's still business has to be made. I always think since Crawford is locked up with Top Rank, there's no other choice but to co-promote. Thing is, the distribution rights, who has it, it's really a mystery to me. But this whole thing about Spence calling him a coon, I don't really agree because he's really bigging up a fighter who's black. So it's really a stupid comment. He's not really coon, but to me, he's more like an attack dog for Top Rank and ESPN. That's what he is. He's a chihuahua. And you can see Andre Ward kind of give him the side eye stare. Man, what the fuck you talking about? Just slow down. And I agree, man. He's biased, but I don't think that's what the deal is, man.
Yeah, I think the more proper word should have been company man. That would have been appropriate. I wouldn't have had no problem. If you would have called him man, you just a company man. Shut your mouth up. I would have been all right with that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Calling him a coon.
And, I just wanted.
How's he a
Yeah,
coon
yeah.
caping for caping for another black fight? Make that make sense to me. Stupid idiots. I mean, that was a stupid comment, man. Yeah, it's just stupid, man. Dumb
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Anything else, Virtuoso?
Yeah. No, I just wanted to talk about the fight with Kazalakis. I mean, I thought he really, took chances out there, man. He really took risk, but him fighting on the inside, man, it's very worrisome, for me, But he also, this guy at boxing, he also brought up, I just wanted to say that one of these PBC heads, like, they try to put the burden of proof on us, like, on people to question him, like he knows everything, but he doesn't. So he brought up Josecito Lopez, right? And I believe he's the biggest name as a non-Heyman represented fighter to fight in LA, which I don't think is going to happen because I don't think it's a big enough name. I don't think it's going to be a big enough fight to generate money. I brought up Kell Brook and he was really puzzled, but that to me is the only one, because he still has name recognition. He can still fight, but I don't know. He's kind of washed, but who knows, man? Because the future is still uncertain because this whole fucking accident that Errol Spence had, it just kind of really fucked everything up. So I mean, I do like him to fight Shawn Porter, but there's this whole thing about they don't want to fight each other because they're friends. I don't know, man. This is boxing, man. Ain't no friends in the ring.
Good point. All right. Anything else? That's it?
No, I'm good, man. Thanks for taking my call, man.
All right,
Appreciate
man. Thanks for calling in. That was Virtuoso, everybody. Good points. I mean, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna address one of the comments. Is Stu talking about AJ? Buddy Aces asked that. I don't know what he's talking about, but
Talking about AJ what?
When did he talk about AJ?
I don't.
Oh, they think
Talking
you're an
about
AJ
I
fan.
don't know.
The AJ fan. If you're still celebrating.
Celebrating what?
Celebrating what?
The AJ win. I don't know, man. These people.
I forgot about Josh already, man. I forgot about it. I don't get up in the morning and think, yeah, world champion, ain't I? Heavyweight world champion, me. No, I'm not, because I didn't achieve that, and Joshua did. So why am I going to get hard about another man's achievements? All right, he did what he had to do on the night. I said the other day, he's used up his boring card. I don't want to see him fight like that anymore. So
yeah, I agree with that.
Even though he looked tremendous doing it, by the way. I don't want to, because for excitement reasons. So, no, I'm not thinking about Joshua. Why are you thinking about Ruiz and what a disgrace he is, and why his name's not allowed to be mentioned on this show for the next 3 months?
See, they think that all boxing fans are emotional and their favorite boxer wins, and you're celebrating it for a month or something like that. No, of course not.
Listen, when Anthony Joshua got absolutely embarrassed, I was on the show the next day. Talking with you guys, just getting on with my life, telling you where it went all wrong for Joshua, and I gave Joshua the criticism that he deserved.
Yeah.
I didn't go over the morning and think, I don't know if I could survive, start taking depression pills. Can I need Joshua? Where are you guys coming from?
Going like a lethal weapon, putting a gun on your mouth and shit. Come on, no.
Yeah. Just ring. If anything happens to me, ringing, texting your mem. If anything happens to me, make sure the dogs are all right. You know what I mean? Get out of here, man.
People,
yeah, it's over with. He like Stu said, he used this boring card to get the belts back because it means a lot of money and shit like that, and him going back. Now we don't want to see him fight like that. Now that he's got the belt back, I mean, he could fight like that if he in spots. I don't have a problem with that, but I don't think you're gonna see him. I don't think you'll see him do necessarily that again.
Imagine he does.
But he's gonna end up fighting a lot of guys his size. He doesn't do that with guys his size.
Yeah, slower guys. I guess
he doesn't have problems with guys his height. I know everybody loves this idea that Wilder would definitely knock him out, and I would agree if Wilder does hit him.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3.
I got it.
2. And I agree that Wilder, if he touches that chin, he might not get back up. Okay, and I agree with that. But if you really look at Anthony Joshua's success against guys more or less his height, he handles them pretty good. You want to talk about Vladimir Klitschko? You're talking about a fucking legend, man. Of course, this guy was going to give him problems, man. And if he would have been a little bit younger, it would have been lights out for him, but he would have fucked Wilder up too. Are you kidding me?
How many knockouts did Vladimir Klitschko have, man?
Yeah, Vladimir Klitschko had like fucking 50-something knockouts out of his career. He knocked out more people than most heavyweight fighters today have fights.
He's knocked out more people than Floyd Mayweather's had fights.
Yeah, excuse me. He's knocked out more people than Floyd has had fights.
Yeah,
okay? So he's knocked out a little army.
And this is why Vladimir Klitschko gets so much respect on this show, because we respect our legends and our warriors. All right, we give fighters criticism when they deserve it, but
yeah, he was boring at times.
He was boring.
I got sensational.
Yeah. You know? Oh, mate, there was times when I watched Klitschko and I thought, I can't wait for it to finish.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to sit here and lie. But there's also times when I've looked at... Do you know, the way he fought against Anthony Joshua at 41 years old, man, I was proud of the guy, man. I was really impressed with him.
Yeah, he went out. He went out, and if he'd have been a little younger, he would have fucked Anthony Joshua up.
He was fucking Joshua up, man. It's just his tank. His tank let him down. And that's why Vlad knew it was time to go. Because his tank was just not going to... It's just not going to be there anymore. He looked $1 million. I thought he actually looked better. If you look at boxing physiques, his physique pisses all over Joshua's. A lot better physique.
Yeah, I think in terms of like being a fighter, that's the physique you want to have, not Anthony Joshua's.
Yeah, see, his physique, he looked a lot better than Joshua.
I like the way Joshua looked in his last fight. That was was good.
The tank just weren't there. It's like Povetkin the other day, dug deep to find the that extra bit, and it was just fumes.
Yeah, Povetkin just probably hit that wall, right? Where this is his.
And like I said, if Vladimir Klitschko's hitting a wall at 40, where is Luis Ortiz right now? I mean,
oh God.
I think two more walls have been built, and they're fallen down and all. I mean,
dude, you know why I know he's in his he's older than what he say is. Just look at the reaction when he got knocked down. Is that not like a guy?
Yeah, that's like an old man getting knocked out. Or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was, man.
Yeah, it's like it's an old man outside a pub getting sucker punched.
It's the old man that doesn't realize. It's the old man messing with the young dude from the neighborhood who he doesn't realize, like, yo, this guy will smack the shit out of you. Like, chill out. And then he keeps on poking, and then the young guy says, look, I had enough of you, old man. Boom. And he's got that look on his face. He's got that, oh, what just happened?
Like shocked, yeah. Like you weren't supposed to hit me, you know? Yeah. That's true. That's a good point. And that's a good point Stu brings up here. I mean, people were discrediting AJ's win against Vladimir because Vladimir was too old. But I mean, Ortiz, it's like, whoa, you know, who else has fought Ortiz? No one. That's why I keep reading in the comments that some people left.
Who else? And who has Ortiz fought? No one.
Same answer. Yeah, I mean,
he's fought nobody, but you guys made him a somebody.
Well, they have to. Right? They have to make him a somebody, or else, you know, that affects Wilder in a sense.
Slow plotter. He's a slow plotter. He's easy to predict. He can't get out of the way, like Stu said. His brain works way faster than his fucking reflex. And he was dead meat for Wilder.
Listen, mate, to be fair to Ortiz, he was bracing himself for the shots, but just even that was not enough.
That wasn't enough, yeah.
He could see the shots coming, but he just couldn't move out the way. It's like when you're in shock, you freeze, don't you? You know, when instead of moving, you're in shock, you just freeze. And that's how it was. It's like he was in shock. We saw the punch coming, knew what was going to happen, just couldn't get out of the way, and knew he
couldn't get out of the way.
Couldn't get out of the way and knew his body wouldn't get out of the way. And I think that was the sad thing about
it. Hey, Bucho.
Yeah.
He was the guy in the 9/11 video. We got to get out of the way.
Yeah, out of the way. Oh, man. Hey, by the way,
but he didn't have time. He didn't have time to get out.
Yeah. Recognize somebody mentioned seeing Amosea is mentioning the hairpiece that you kept mentioning that Ortiz was wearing.
Yes, he was.
Just mention that again for the new guys who are in the watching the show.
You know who brought it? Like
yeah.
I said, my wife brought it to my attention. She's the one that was like, "You do realize this guy's wearing a hairpiece, right?" I was like, "You
Who's
talking
that?
about?" Like,
Who's
look,
that?
the strand came out, and she said something that I don't know how they call it.
This just shows how retarded some boxing fans are. Can you remember all the, he's looking in good shape.
Not your
he's
wife,
lost 30
Matrix.
pounds, he's had a haircut, he's ready. I mean, haircuts ain't going to win you fights. Do you know what I mean?
What difference was his hair? What his hair was
Listen,
like?
listen, Al Heyman made him have them extensions or whatever they are. He's probably got that sewn into his hair to make him look 10 years younger. Because to the casual, they're looking at him. You think even the casuals looking at him, going, this guy looks fucking old, man. So you have to try and make him look a bit younger, but he can't fool people like me and you because we know he's 50. But you know, this 13 pounds. I said, do you think that's going to make any difference?
It's going to probably make it worse for him for one punch to get knocked out.
All of a sudden, he's going to be dancing like fucking prime Cassius Clay, isn't he? No, he's going to be that flat-footed bum, even worse than he was in his last fight. So it never fooled me. And the fact that some people were actually picking Ortiz because he had a fucking haircut and he lost 13 pounds.
Because he had a haircut. Great for him. I mean, AJ looked much better in his second fight against Ruiz, and he had a little mini fro going into the fight. So what does that mean?
Good point.
You know, he had a little mini out. He had his typical pretty boy haircut when he fought Ruiz in the first fight, and look what that did to him. Right? So what the fuck are you guys talking about, man? You guys are crazy. He got a haircut and he lost 13 pounds. He still got knocked out. This time by one punch. That was it.
Sina Mose saying that the hairpiece made the odds a bit closer.
Yeah, it did.
By the way, Roha Y saying, who knows anything about Manny Stewart's nephew, though?
Somebody says Ortiz for Achilles. He did, man. Did fight him.
I was gonna say, who knows anything about Manny Stewart's nephew, though? I know it's Crunk Jim, but who does Sugar Hill Dude train? And somebody
that's his nephew. Okay.
Yeah, according to Rohawa. And then the poodle in the chat says that he trained at Adonis Stevenson.
Sugar Hill is his name?
Yes, sir.
He did. He's right. I know who that is.
Adonis Stevenson's trainer, yeah.
Hey, listen, better than Ben
Oh,
Davison.
that's Pete. What's up, Pete?
Oh, is that Pete? I can barely hear him.
Well, you've got Tyson Fury's looking like. Do you honestly? Tyson Fury just hasn't improved, does he? Since he beat Fury, he's not improved one bit. So you know, and for me, he's still a good fighter. I mean, he's still on the same level, but he hasn't improved. Do you think, as a young man, beat Klitschko, he'd gone on to do great? I know he went on a fucking binge, but that's not the point. He hasn't improved, and maybe he's looking at. I need fresh ideas. I need someone I don't really know that I can't get all friendly with. That's gonna put me in my place and get me training hard. Maybe that's what he's looking at. And let's be real, a Manny Stewart game plan is the sort of thing that Tyson does prefer to do. So I can see the method behind it.
Yeah, we don't know if it's gonna work. We're not sure. We don't know if this duel is gonna definitely translate to greatness.
Of course we don't. Look, Manny Stewart couldn't do fuck all with Prince Nassim Hamed because Manny Stewart's style, you're never going to get Prince Nassim Hamed to do that. Nassim Hamed was an orthodox fighter that used to throw shots from funny angles, like lunging uppercuts and winging fucking hooks.
That's what made him good. I think that's what made him good.
And what made him bad, getting two trainers at the same time.
You can't, you know. So even when he went to Manny Stewart couldn't make him a better fighter. So it don't matter who the trainer is. I think Manny Stewart will do good things with guys that can box a little bit on the back foot, long arms, tools.
Yeah, it's all about it's that. It's all about these fucking long arm fighters that he enjoys, man.
I mean, I've been put Povetkin with Manny Stewart. I don't think he's going to do much with him.
Damn, I think I wish I would have met Manny Stewart when I was younger.
You've got to have the attribute,
but
definitely.
Also, when you have two trainers, Prince Nassim Hamed at some point had that Cuban guy, I think he was.
Yeah.
And Emmanuel Stewart.
Puerto Rican, I think he was.
Something, and that's never going to work. When you have two trainers, that's the worst thing you can do. And by the way, this is going back to what we're talking about Fury. first of all, why did he have Ben Davis and Freddie Roach? That didn't make sense.
Because he
And
didn't trust Ben Davis. He didn't trust Ben Davis.
To compensate for the lack of experience that Ben Davison had. So Fury knew from the beginning that he lacked experience.
Tyson Fury was stupid, man. What he should have said was, Ben Davis, you're gonna be my fucking the second in command. You'll be my motivator. Freddie, you're gonna be the X's and O guys. You're gonna be the guy who gives me the advice and what I need. He would have did that. Trust me, the advice would have been so much different, and we'd probably be talking about this fight in a different light right now.
Tyson Fury basically paid Freddie to do nothing. What's the point of Freddie being there? Because he wasn't allowed to do anything. Look, he was brought there to obviously overlook Ben Davison. That's the only thing he was there for, and he never got a chance to do that. And when he did say something, Ben Davison would step up like a narcissist he is, and thinks he knows better. So
you think
exactly?
You think Ben Davison was? Did you see Ben Davison in the corner? You talked about it. Recognized Ben Davison in the corner during that Wilder Fury fight. He was just screaming and yelling. He wasn't consulting with Freddie Roach. Freddie just was sitting there, not doing jack shit.
Look, as much as I think that those the guys that are responsible, the security guys that are responsible for making sure he doesn't go to the past a certain amount, I think they were a little bit extreme, but he did that to himself. That's lack of experience.
Look, that fucking guy, right? That guy was clueless on the night, shouting, screaming instructions that meant nothing. You know, and this is what upset me the most about him. You know, he's arrogant. He's a bit of a, like I said, he's a narcissist. His arrogance as well really gets to me, because when Joshua putting up performance against Ruiz, first thing Ben Davison comes out and says, poor man's Tyson Fury. You know, not giving anyone any credit. And this guy that's achieved nothing in boxing. It's a bit like Marcellus Wilder telling Bellew he's going to knock him out. That's what
fuck out of here. You know how fast, Bell, you would have put that man to the hospital?
Well, there you go. But he still said it. And the fact that Ben Davison said this, just show when he's got... Can you criticise Joshua when you've done nothing in a boxing ring? You've got a draw on your fucking record and a win against fucking, well, that bum that he fucking just got past in his last fight. Wallen, whatever his name is. I can't remember. Bum.
Wallen, yeah.
So, you know, at the end of the day, this guy's doing nothing in boxing. He's sitting there calling fucking Anthony Joshua. I think that might... See, Tyson Fury, as much as he gives Joshua a stick, I think he has got respect for Joshua. And I think that wouldn't have helped. When he's coming out straight after the fight, criticising Joshua's performance, when Tyson Fury stunk the joint out on many occasions.
Good point. Good point.
Of course he has. Of course he has, man. This is one to talk. His greatest win, Vladimir Klitschko. That was a bore fest. I was bored. You know what I said when I was watching that fight? I've never been so bored in my life. That's what I kept saying.
Oh. Only reason I was excited because I placed a bet on that fight.
It was a horrible fight. It really was a horrible fight. And I mean, to think that Vladimir Klitschko was that bad, it's the worst I've ever seen him. And maybe Fury made him look like that, but
yeah, it had a lot to do with Fury. I agree with that.
It was a poor performance.
But it was bad. It was just a bad performance. Even for Tyson Fury, that was a bad performance.
But I think
clearly won.
The fact that he came out and criticised Joshua after a good performance, Joshua was under a lot of pressure that Ben Davison would never understand in his life. So, you know, for him to come out and not even give him credit, a fellow Brit as well, you know, to sit there, go, poor man's fucking Tyson Fury. Not when you're training him at N.
Actually, that was better than some of the boring fights I've seen.
Mate,
Tyson Fury.
Joshua's performance against Ruiz was better than Fury's against Wilder. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
In the chat, Steven Schneider says Fury's a lowlife pretending to be some Gandhi.
I don't know. I'm not going to go that far to call him a lowlife, but he is a pretender.
He's the best guy. Fury's the best guy there. I'm telling you, for skill, he's the best fighter in that division. But it's whether he's got the right people around him, or he's in the right frame of mind. There's so many factors to Tyson Fury. He's got to be complete on the night for him to pull these big wins off. Otherwise, he's going to get beat.
That's the only one I see through 12 rounds beating Usyk. You see, all these guys have a chance to knock Usyk out because there's a bit of an unknown. We don't know if he could take these heavyweight punches, right? We're not too sure yet. But in terms of skills, going 12 rounds, the only guy I see beating Usyk, boxing match, 12-round fight, is Tyson Fury. That's it.
Yeah.
Because he has a bit of skills too. He has good skills, and then, he's 6'9", and he's got all that arm reach.
Even though you've seen Joshua's boxing skills now.
I like Joshua's boxing skills, bro. He's really good, and I think that's going to be that could potentially be a big problem for Usyk. But if look, I'm talking about he doesn't get caught with a big shot or a shot that he can't take. It goes 12 rounds, brother. Usyk is winning that fight. He's winning that fight. He's going to beat him on points. Now, whether he gets a decision or not, it's a different ballgame. But in terms of like what most observers are going to say,
I think Fury's a very hard style for Usyk. I really do.
Right. Him being 6'9" and all, and then he could move and box.
And like I said, similar abilities when it comes to boxing at range, and just Fury's quite smart, and I think, mind you though, with Fury, we've seen before, like I said, it's a different Fury, I know, but with Cunningham, he just couldn't cope with the speed. He was getting outboxed because the speed was too much for him. So maybe the Usyk speed, if Usyk can be first to the punch, then
right.
Then
It's all about getting first to the punch, with that fight. Yeah. It'll be a tactical battle. I just feel like Fury might get the edge because he's so fucking tall, and then he can move. He can move. I hope all these fights happen, man.
The problem is Usyk. I mean, as good as he is, top 3 pound for pound in my list every day of the week. I still think there was moments in Bellew when Bellew was fighting on the back foot at range that it took him a while to figure Bellew out. And I think if he's struggling to figure Bellew out, how long is he going to take to figure Fury out when Fury don't even know what he's going to do? So
think about it could be a size nightmare for him, for Usyk.
That's all I'm thinking. Like I said, Usyk's very good at adapting. He did with Bellew. I think with Bellew, he started throwing straight punches, realised Bellew's got that decent defence where he, leans behind the guard and all that. And he's a bit of a shell. He uses a bit of a shell, and he's quite hard to hit clean. And he kept crouching low and all sorts, didn't he? He was hard to hit clean with a straight punch. But as soon as he started looping them, they started landing on the button, didn't they?
Listen, I personally think that Usyk versus AJ or Wilder, if they don't get him out, if they don't get Usyk out, Usyk sweeps these dudes. He does. He just he outworks them, and I can even see him stopping both guys late because they got to get him out. They got to ice him. I think AJ may give him some boxing fits, talking about skill-wise, because of his ability to move around and throw the jab.
And listen, the thing is though, bro, one thing's for sure: when Usyk fights AJ, he's going to land on Usyk. AJ's too good not to land. Even when he was at his worst he's ever been, and whatever, he's mentally a mess. He looked in terrible fighting shape. He come in looking like the fucking Michelin man, didn't he? With all that muscle, it was ridiculous. And he still rocked Andy Ruiz to his boots and landed a beautiful left hook on him. And anyone else wouldn't have got up from that. So even on his worst night, he's hitting people, and that's what I'm saying. He's landed on everyone he's fought. Really, let's be real. So he's gonna land on Usyk, and it's
these are great fights, man. This is why they got it. Like I'm sort of happy in the sense of a boxing fan that Usyk went to the zone, because we know they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight. Now, whether it's gonna be Anthony Joshua's next fight is the question, right? I can see him saying, look, I'm going to ditch the WBO belt because I plan to get it back at the end of the year fighting Usyk. So I just want to get my IBF mandatory out the way. Let me drop the belt, the WBO belt. Let Usyk pick it up versus Chisora, or even if Chisora somehow pulls it out, I go back. More likely, we know it's going to be Usyk, right? More likely that's what the boxing gods, they want Usyk to win that fight. He's the WBO champ. go into late 2020, and you have Anthony Joshua versus Usyk for all the belts. That should be the game plan. And I'm glad that as a boxing fan that he signed with the Zone, because now we're gonna get to see these fights. Now we'll get to the more realistic fights can happen. And as a boxing fan, I also hope Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder for many reasons. But the main reason, my main reason, would be these are fights that can happen. I think Tyson Fury will be willing to fight Joshua Usyk, because Usyk has he has Eddie Hearn, who's a UK-based promoter. So you're going to get these fights. These fights are going to happen where the Deontay Wilder effect is going to be, look, I beat Fury. I'm the lineal champion now.
I think I think that fight happens, mate, because Joshua will fight. I think Joshua will fight anyway. Usyk definitely will. I mean, them fights are going to happen. Eddie will make it happen. Let's be real. Eddie's, say what you like about Eddie Hearn, but I bet he gets hard thinking about that fight. He's going to put that on as quick as he can. So, and that will get made. There'll be nothing in the way. The Zone will pay ridiculous money for it. Yeah. That's one to look forward to.
The guy Zod in the I can't read his whole name. He said AJ was not willing to fight Fury. I think you're wrong, bro. And this is the reason why. Look at it from boxing standpoint and the political standpoint. The chances that Fury would definitely knock out Anthony Joshua are not that high, bro. They're not that high. I think that I think AJ has a better chance of knocking out Fury. Now, getting outboxed, you're right. I think he would get outboxed by Fury in that fight. But what happens if that fight is close? I hate to bring it up. The boogeyman in the room. Dirty politics. Right?
Yeah.
So why would Fury? Why would AJ be afraid of that? AJ knows you got to keep that fight close, and if the judges are feeling happy in his favor, he gets the nod. Okay, so he's willing to take that fight. Why would
you got to remember, right? You got to remember, right? These sanctioning bodies, these belts, right? They get a percentage of the purse when a title fight's made, right? They're going to want their percentage of Anthony Joshua's $75 million. They're not going to want $2 million from someone else, because that's peanuts to them. They're going to want Joshua to be a champion as long as they can. And if they can fiddle a few judges here and there, make things work out their way, they're going to do it. And that's how boxing is. Let's be real.
You don't want to blame Eddie Hearn for this?
Look how they're protecting Wilder. There's a reason why they're doing all they've done. Look, they've sent Dillian White back another year, and they told him he was going to have to wait till 2021. They've done everything, but make this guy fight his mandatories. They're coming out with these fucking belts.
Yeah,
just
the guy got cleared. The guy got cleared by 2 different agencies from 2 different countries, and he's being told you're going to wait another year.
Listen, the WBC didn't even, like I said, they dropped the guy with. And they go by, the WBC go by VADA, don't they? They listen to VADA. They soon listened to VADA when Povetkin was popped. Oh, yeah, they listened then. But when VADA said there's nothing wrong with Dillian White, but UCADA.
Exactly.
Fuck off, WBC,
yeah.
mate. Get out of here.
You can't see the con game.
Run by the Mexican mafia, mate. I tell you what, mate. El Chapo. That's who owns the WBC. El fucking Chapo.
Yep. Probably does, man. And right now, his main interest is to protect the WBC champion at heavyweight.
Even though he's in the US, he's still controlling shit, man. Like, he's still controlling the WBC.
Yeah, he's chilling right now.
Yeah,
the guy's chilling. We don't know where he's at. He's probably chilling.
Just a side note here. El Chapo's talking shit. He's spilling all the beans, and they caught this. Anyways, they might get a president from the ex-president from Mexico and extradite him. Well, take him to the United States for trial because he was.
You talking about Vicente? Is it Vicente Fox?
No, him too, but the one after him, Calderon. So now it's
Calderon. Yeah, it was. Calderon.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
I actually enjoyed that El Chapo on Netflix. You seen that?
Well, there's like two
No,
shows.
I haven't seen it.
Which one?
Yeah, no, that El Chapo on Netflix. I really enjoyed that.
The one in Spanish? Oh,
it's in Spanish, but they've got some English people talking over. It's quite funny, really, when you see one of these.
They got the subtitles, right?
You
Yeah,
see
I
a
saw it
Mexican
without
with a
the.
gringo's voice,
Yeah.
so it's quite funny, man.
They got voiceover.
Yeah, they got the voiceover.
It's like the old Chinese films in the 80s.
The Kung Fu movies.
They'd finished speaking and the mouse is still moving for like 20 seconds.
Hey guys, somebody in the chat, and I forgot to read. Sorry about it. I didn't read your name because it was a long time ago. But he mentioned something about these rumors about Vladimir Klitschko coming back. If those are true, do you want to see that,
like
guys?
that for like the last year.
Well,
No.
I did see something about that this year, like last week or something.
Vladimir might be thinking about it, but as soon as he has to get up at 6 a.m. and go for that run, I think he might change his mind again. There's no point in him coming back. Call it a day, Vlad. You're a legend in the ring. Do what Lennox did. Lennox fucking knew that his days were over, so he called it a day. That's what he's got.
Exactly.
And I don't think he spent all his money or anything. He doesn't seem like that type of person.
Don't ruin your legacy like Evander Holyfield, because now every time I think of Holyfield, I think about all them terrible defeats that he's got at the end of his career.
Exactly, yeah. And with boxing casuals, they make it worse because that's all they remember, Oh, but you talking about that bum? Yeah, that bum would have fucking killed your hero. Point.
Yeah. God, dear. Holyfield v. Wilder. God, dear.
God, come on, man. He would have fucked Wilder up, bro.
Holyfield rocked Riddick Bowe, who was about 18 and a half stone on the night.
Yeah.
Rocked him to his fucking drop.
If it wasn't that he just walked into a fucking dynamite punch of Riddick Bowe, probably knocks Riddick Bowe out in that fight.
Oh, for sure.
I think Bowe was just too strong for Holyfield at them times.
But do you remember, Stu? He just walked right into that. What we knew you can't do from Riddick Bowe. Can't let him let off that fucking.
The thing is with Holyfield had showed vulnerabilities before that. I mean, smoking Burt Cooper. Can you remember that fight?
Damn, that was a good fight. Oh,
I mean,
man.
he had no business doing that to Holyfield. I mean, the smoking Burt Cooper we're talking about there, and that was a hell of a fight. I mean,
what about when Burt Cooper had
Holyfield all over the place?
What about when he had Michael Moore?
Yeah,
out. Oh, he had him out.
Smoking Burt Cooper's like the Darnell Boone of today, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Oh man, that's an excellent fucking comparison.
In the chat,
the heavyweight version.
Sorry, one here in the chat saying Klitschko tweeted that he wanted to come back for Wilder. Just for Wilder.
Yeah, they're probably talking to him about some big money. That look, Wilder, that's not gonna work. Guy retired for 3 fucking years already, and his last 2 fights he lost. Like that's not gonna get. He's doing that so that he can get some fame. And look at me, I knocked him out in 3 rounds.
Yeah. But
Yo, Klitschko is the perfect target.
Vladimir Klitschko saying that he wants to come. What the hell is that noise? Is that Pete?
That's Pete.
I don't know. He sounds pretty weird. Like, I don't know. God damn it. I was going to say that. Hold on. So you guys are Vladimir Klitschko. Let's say you're Vladimir Klitschko. You watched that last Wilder performance against 50-year-old Luis Ortiz. And you go like, you know what? I've been out for a while, but I can take this guy out.
He might be saying that. I don't. Yeah. I mean, look. I don't think it's a good fight. I don't think Wilder should take that fight because it just lends to the criticism that he, in a lot of cases, he deserves. That he's a bum. He's a bum beater. He beats you.
The thing is with men, right? We don't accept when we're getting old. Even when we're 65, we think we can still bone young girls until we have to get the Viagra out. I mean, look. When you're fucking had it, you've had it, mate. There's no Superman fucking drug that they're going to give you. There's no Bruce Banner's not going to come to your house and inject you with a needle. It's not happening. You're done.
Dude, 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
I'm talking from a man that's in my 40s myself. So I know what it feels like, and I'm not even an athlete. And I can only imagine getting up, running like that, how stiff they feel after training, how slow, and even the thought of taking a shot at Maya. No one wants to take a shot at 40 years old. Do you know what I mean?
No.
So,
you don't want to make that Ortiz face when he gets knocked out.
Look, here's the thing. When I was younger and a lot poorer, right? Because that goes hand in hand. That's all I had to do was to work out. It was a way to just stay out of trouble and keep yourself disciplined, right? So now I'm in my mid 40s, going into my late 40s. I'm doing a bit better, a lot better than when I was younger, and I can barely motivate myself sometimes to work out. I keep myself in good shape for me, but like to work out, like, and again,
Even in the bedroom, I have to get myself in a comfortable position and with a nice.
exactly. I got to get myself in the right position.
Yeah. I'm not fucking. I'm not Manny Pacquiao in the bedroom. I'm more like Anthony Joshua the other night. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So you just can't do it anymore.
I used to be like Manny Pacquiao. Now I'm more like
now you're like Rigondeaux, innit?
pacing myself and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is die and like have a freak accident there and have a heart attack. So yeah, forget about in that chat. Forget about Vladimir Klitschko. I mean, this. I hope, and it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't be a fight nobody should be calling for. That's
no. Nobody wins in that fight. Like it smells like desperation from Wilder's side, though.
It is desperation. Yeah. It is, man. That's exactly what. Take care of business with Tyson Fury. Knock him out. You'll be all right.
Hey, first of all, I can't believe they're looking past fucking Tyson Fury. Go ahead.
Someone mentioned Joe Bugner in the chat. I'm surprised Wilder ain't tried to drag him back, fucking sort of fight Wilder take.
Who's this?
Joe Bugner.
Yeah. Is he dead by now?
Do you know what? That's a good question. I know he moved to Australia, didn't he? He moved to Australia from England, and I just don't hear. I think he might be dead now. I mean, the fucking punishment he took, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Jesus, he took punishment in his life.
I tell you what, it was a cracking fight he fought with Joe Frazier, though. That was a really good fight. That.
I think he was a bit of a sadist, right? Like to take that kind of punishment.
Yeah, like I said, the Frazier fight, it was a cracking fight. That.
Nosferatu says, he's asking, does the B in BDA stand for boomer? He thinks they're like we're in Vietnam or something.
It means grown up man. Job, home, children. Bit of fucking.
We're probably the sons of boomers, yeah.
Class about us. That's what it means. We're the last of the classy generations, really, aren't we? We're the last of the classy generations have gone where people are still have morals, old school ways. I've still got really old school ways. I was brought up with my dad. My dad's like fucking stuck in the 1800s years. So
me, Stu, and I don't know how old Bucho is, but definitely me and Stu, we're the sons of boomers that had respect.
Yes, that's it. Look, I mean, we're them sort of people that come home from work after our day and expect our tea on the table ready when we get there. Not a lot to ask, is it? Not a lot to ask.
We're the guys that laugh at millennials' complaints of the world. You know.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we have.
I should have the right to be a dolphin if I wanted to, and we're the ones that laugh at you guys. Like dolphins, really?
See, the thing is, right?
If
these women want
Jewish,
if these women want equal rights, then for me they can have it. But that also includes when we go out on the piss and it's their round. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys,
get the rounds in then, like I have to.
Boomer debate arena, says Soccer Mustang.
Oh, there's a flat tire. Change the wheel for me, babe. I have to usually do it. You want equal rights? Change the tire. There's one in the back.
So the only boomers here are Mr. BDA and myself, as we've stated that we were in Vietnam and we had a blast over there. But here we have Jimmy on the line. Jimmy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Butcher's got a Burmese fucking passport, ain't you, Butch?
Exactly.
What's going on? But hey, listen,
what's up, Jimmy?
What's going on? The truth that woman's lib shit. Listen, if they wanted to really cut through the bullshit, the fucking vac.
Yep. Deal with this, Jimmy.
Wait, Jimmy. Jimmy. Damn it. We lost Jimmy, bro.
We lost Jimmy. He was ready to rant. Damn it.
I love Jimmy's rants.
Yeah.
They're old school.
Hey, Jimmy, drop
Actually,
out and come back in.
Jimmy's a
Yeah.
little older than me, right?
Yes, I think it's 50, early 50s.
Yeah. So he was born in the 60s. I was born in the early 70s.
That's why you get common sense on this show, because we're all.
That's a good point.
We're all
Well,
like guys.
no. That's
that
not
were
true.
born in the
That's not true
70s.
because trust me, I've
No, from the
heard
panel,
people.
not from the panel. All our panelists are quite. Most of them are quite experienced guys that not just know about boxing, know a lot of things. Do you know what I mean? We have good
Yeah.
chats on this show about everything because we're experienced guys. We've been out a bit. We're not little fucking millennials that haven't left the campus yet.
Oh, why can't we accept people who want to be dolphins and sea and what is it, mermaids and shit? You know?
Yeah, they're lost. All right, Jimmy, we can't hear you. I don't know if you're talking, but drop out and come back in, man. In the meantime, we're gonna take a phone call. 773, you're on the air. 773.
Man, you know what's funny, guys? Listen here. Crawford did not look like the pound-for-pound best fighter. I thought he was, I don't watch too many of his fights, but I watched last few. I watched it with,
Would you say more like top
Australian dude
5
Horn.
or more like top 15 in your opinion?
I'd say he's top 10. He's top 10.
Top.
Yeah.
It's hard
I've got
to
him.
do. He's somewhere
got
in
him
there.
at
There's
number
so many
5
good
now.
fighters, you can't really put a number on it, but he did not look like the best fighter in the world. You see him against, he looks amazing against guys like Jeff Horn, against Glassjaw Khan, and the minute he faces a worthy contender who didn't even look that good his last fight. If you watched the Lithuanian
Lucius,
dude,
right?
his last
Before
fight,
Sugar Ray. He's talking about
he didn't look that good.
He's
Looked
about
very
Kabbalistas.
average.
He was
Looked very
terrible in his
average.
last fight.
And then
Yeah.
he fights a worthy contender, and what happens? He got
He has
freaking,
fits.
he got
I
rocked.
knew that was gonna happen
He
too.
got rocked, he got dropped, and he was getting tagged clean with some good shots. And if it wasn't for that dude gassing out, the dude, you can tell he's a big muscle head. He's one of those dudes, real stocky, a lot of muscle. So, of course, he gasses out real quick. He fights someone with power, he's got good conditioning, he's in for some trouble. Someone like a Shawn Porter, I could see him giving some real trouble. But he needs to fight one of them guys. He needs to
I
fight
was
Shawn
saying
Porter,
that too,
needs to
man.
fight,
I was saying that too. I think Shawn Porter, for obvious reasons, it's not just Terrence Crawford, it's everybody he fights, will be a fucking test for him. That would be the ultimate test because he likes to do what Terrence Crawford is really good at, fighting. That's what Porter's really good at.
But I think he needs to fight
Porter's
one
a
of those guys. He
horrible.
needs to fight
Porter's a
Pacquiao.
horrible style for
He needs
every
to fight,
fight. There's not
Fucking
one.
everybody.
There's not one guy that sits there and
Spence.
thinks, I know what's a good style for me, Shawn Porter. Everyone probably cringes at the thought of fighting that guy because they know they're going to get their eye cut for a start because he's going to fly in with the head and cut their eye. He cuts everybody. That's one thing he's got to worry about, and then you've got to worry about that pressure. That just he's like a nuisance, and he just don't go out like a wasp.
You know, if I was Manny Pacquiao, that's a fight I stay away from. But
yeah, me too.
If I'm Manny Pacquiao and I'm like, you know what, fuck this, I just want to pass the torch. The guy I want to pass it to is Shawn, and say, go ahead, guys, you take it from him now. Enjoy. Do boxing fans a favor. Pass the torch to Shawn Porter.
Yeah, that'd be like.
Yeah, we can hear you, Jimmy. All right, let's just get
Jimmy, we can hear you, brother.
Hear me? You can hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think with Pacquiao, unfortunately, that torch will be passed by a check into his pocket. You know what I mean?
Yes,
If he fights again with a PBC, it's going to have to be a big one because, I mean, it's been a while since the Thurman fight. They haven't announced anything. And
yeah, they haven't. They haven't, man.
And they got to
So
get some of that money back because Heyman paid his tax bill. That was, what, $33 million? So think about that. He'd pay his tax bill plus, I guess, a percentage came out of his purse, but he still owes Heyman a ton of money for that. And it's supposed to be made back in executive fights. But he already came out and said, I don't want to fight them. So, I mean, that's pretty much, I think, is laying the crown.
He said he didn't want to fight Porter?
No, but if he's not going to want to fight Thurman,
I mean, rematch.
Oh, the
Sterling,
rematch.
or Spence, and he said he didn't want to fight Spence too. That's right.
Guy in the chat calling Porter a weight bully because he fought 160 in the amateurs. In the amateurs, it's different because in the amateurs, you're not in training camp. You ain't got nutritionists. You have to go to work and go about your business. It's hard for people to make weight. And if he's struggling at 147, which he clearly is a 147 fight, just has nowhere near the attributes to be fighting people like Canelo and Golovkin. He's not a middleweight, never has been. He's probably fighting at middleweight, fighting a lot bigger guys because it's all about making the weight. It's all, it's just a different game altogether. So,
all right,
go away.
Dude,
let's get back to guys. Let's get the caller. I think it's Kevin. I'm not sure, but anything else you want to say?
Oh shit! Yeah. Go ahead, caller. We talk too much.
Yeah.
I think
Kevin,
we
are
lost
you
the
there?
caller.
773.
773.
Is he talking?
I don't know.
Well, 773. We can't hear you. I don't know if you're talking, but
773. Going once. Going twice.
oh, he's talking with somebody else. All right. We have another phone call. 585. You're on the air. 585.
Well.
Yes, Mr. Bucho, you sound annoyed. I don't know why.
I dropped my burrito.
Because we said to call in the next
show. You should
show.
be happy, actually. Yes, you should be happy, Mr. Bucho, that I actually called back. Anyways, I would like to say,
Hurry up.
Hey, Vinny, who's your pound for pound now in this hour?
No,
then?
don't ask him that shit. Vinny. Go ahead, Vinny.
Go ahead, Vinny.
Yes, Mr. Bucho. I would like to say Terrence Bud Crawford. He's not my number one anymore, guys. That was a knockdown. Mr. Kavalauskas, I believe that's his name. If I butchered it, I'm sorry, sir.
No, it's his name.
Yes, and I would say one thing, guys. I seen a mean streak in Mr. Crawford I've never seen before, and it scared me. And I was smiling at the TV because I was like, wow, this guy he's an animal, guys. He's really an animal. Now I'm starting to debate if Spence should be number one or not. I need to see this fight, guys.
The thing is with you, though, Vinny.
Yeah, you got these two washed.
I think if fucking Rick Moranis was in a boxing ring, you'd be scared of him. I mean, what is it with you and you keep getting he scares the life out of me.
You're afraid of Usyk. You're afraid of
you're afraid of Wilder.
Serbia.
You're afraid of Spence. You're afraid of everyone. What's wrong with you, man? I thought you was an alpha male in this. In
I thought you was 6'5", 250.
Yeah, you told me.
You
You told me
little
you're
bit
6'5". I don't believe that at all.
Mr. Recognize, I am
Yes.
6'5" and 235. But
okay,
people call me the
35, I'm
gentle
sorry.
giant. I don't try to harm no one, but if people want to harm me, then I will retaliate. Pretty much
Okay, I
like
get
Crawford
it.
did. Mr. Stu, just to counteract what you said, sir. I just seen Crawford, the way he attacked him. It was vicious, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
I see that all the time. I see that all the time.
Do you agree,
I see it all the
Mr.
time.
Stu? Do you agree that he's an animal?
What did Crawford do that's so spectacular that you haven't seen this year?
Yeah.
He was getting outboxed. He took it to a guy that he's bigger than. A guy, let's be real, I mean, he fell to pieces at any sort of pressure, that Kavaliauskas. So at the end of the day, he's not, like I said, in his last performance, dreadful. So this guy is nowhere near as good as people were saying he is. And this is my problem with Crawford. He's fought Khan, Jeff Horn, Benavides, now this guy. Just not good enough wins for me. And I've got Crawford in my pound for pound list, but he's slowly going down. I mean, at this rate, he'll be fucking in the top fucking bottom 50 at this rate. Do you know what I mean? So
good point.
He needs to start fighting. I know it's not all his fault, but he didn't do anything special last night. He was getting outboxed. He got dropped, and he took it to a guy that was bigger than, and strength and size. And let's be real, the technical punching ability of Terence Crawford got him through it. But he's going to be in there with a big guy one of these days that's strong, that can hold his shots, and that he's going to be throwing back. And we've all seen Crawford is easy to hit. So easy to hit, especially with the straight right hand. Right down the pipe. Tags him every time. So let's calm down a bit. We didn't see nothing special. It was a good win. He's still in my pound for pound top 5, but he needs to move on now.
So, Vinny, in conclusion?
Yes, one thing, Mr. Stu, do you agree that Mr. Crawford, yes, he got knocked down. He was like, really? You really knocked me down? Well, guess what? Here this goes. Watch this. And he just he just beat his butt. I mean, I'm sorry to say it. I mean, he beat his butt from pillar to post, and it was very impressive. And you know, I was smiling from ear to ear. I mean, it was amazing. It was an
Drinking your
amazing
Pepsi.
performance, guys.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
Did you
Yeah,
drink
well,
Pepsi?
now we have to see it against a world class fighter because he hasn't had a world class fighter in there with him for a while now. I mean, Benavides was like Forrest Gump that night. You had
Yeah. All right.
you had
Vinny,
Amir
thanks.
Khan. Amir Khan, who's more like the Bollywood Amir Khan.
Hey,
Then you had-
Vince,
Yes.
Vince, call next
Yes,
show,
Mr.
not this show,
Recognized.
all right?
Jeff Horn that makes fucking
Yes,
Jake LaMotta look young the day before he died. I mean, yeah, come on, man. Crawford needs a win, a big one. Porter, if he beats Porter in better fashion than Spence, then we need to start talking about this guy.
Then we're talking some shit.
Then we're
right?
talking.
Wow.
That's what we do in the BDA. We give these fighters a chance. We don't just blow smoke up their ass. We give them a chance, and when they prove it, we give them credit.
And I don't
Simple
think
as.
he'll beat
All right,
Porter.
go ahead, Vinny.
I don't
Parental
think he'll beat
guidance,
Porter in
Mac. Yeah.
convincing fashion.
Yes.
The only rounds that I saw him getting a
Hold
box was the
on.
3 and the 4.
One more thing.
Let's just wrap it up with Vinny. Go ahead, Vinny. Last word.
Yes. I want to talk to Mr. Bob Arum personally. I need him to step up and make these fights, okay? Or else I'm going to start emailing him and putting the pressure on that
I'm
old
sure
man.
he's so afraid.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bucho. I appreciate it. I'll
Yes,
see you guys
Mr.
on the next
Bucho.
show.
Yeah, enjoy your
Thank
Pepsi.
you.
Go ahead.
Enjoy your Pepsi and go fuck yourself. Bye.
All right. Sorry, Gonzalo, go ahead, and then I want to ask something to
Love you,
to
Vinny.
Jimmy.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Out of 9 rounds, the only rounds that I saw Crawford getting outboxed was the 3 and the 4th, and partly that was due because he came out as a southpaw. He pretty much dominated the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. He was.
Like I said, he came out as a southpaw. Listen, if you have to see that for me, if you have to swap stances and change your game plans, your first game plan was obviously you're getting outboxed. If you're not getting outboxed, you don't need to change things up. Just keep doing what works, eh? But no, he was getting outboxed, so he had to change it. And when he changed it up, obviously he became more of a problem for
And then he started to
Kavalevskis,
put his
Kavalevskis
hands
couldn't
up.
deal with him.
He started to put his hands up. I mean, this guy's too relaxed. And like you guys said, somebody I didn't recognize. I mean, he's slowing down a little bit. He's in his 30s now. So he needs to stop it, man.
In terms of elusiveness, like that's when you would usually start to slow down in that department in your 30s.
And you're fighting with your hands low and trying to bait the opponent. Don't do that shit. Just put your hands up, box. You have
There's
the
other
power.
ways
You
to
have
beat
some speed.
guys.
Yeah. All right. Jimmy, are you there? Damn, we lost Jimmy.
What's up, Jimmy?
What's going on, man?
Hey, Jimmy, the whole point of the show, though, the main topic was those comments that Spence made about Bradley.
Being a coon. Timothy Bradley's a coon.
Raccoon.
Raccoon. Calling my Uncle Tom. It's just unnecessary, right? I mean, why bring race into it? Call him an asshole. Say, go fuck yourself. You Dr. Mayweather. Go fuck, you know what I mean? Say something like that. It's like, why do it? Why do it? You know why? Because that's who this kid is, man. That's how he is, man. It's not the first time. He's always got that bullshit going. Big time. You look at who he fucking retweets, he puts on his Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, it just, he's bought into that shit, and that's the fucking, hey, if that's the hill he wants to die on, I think Wilder's shown it doesn't translate to pay-per-view buys. He's not going to endear himself to white America, to Jewish people, to people who buy pay-per-views. I'm talking strictly pragmatically now. You know what I mean? Like,
Are you talking about Jimmy, sir? Are you talking about Jimmy? Sorry.
Spence.
Calling him.
I just, you know what, mate? I just said earlier, that's who I basically put him beside Wilder with his personality and his likability. I think he's going to have the same problems as Wilder because he's a piece of shit like Wilder. And I used to like Spence, but recently, since he's become world champion, he's been right douche.
And every time the kid opens his mouth, I like him less. Put it that way.
I think Jimmy was right when he said what is exactly what I basically said. If he would have said anything else instead of bringing race, if he would have said, "Shut your mouth up, company man. I made you retire because one of the sanctioning bodies ordered us to fight, and you chose retirement." Even if it's not all the way true, I would have been like, "Oh, that's nice." You know, you see what he did there? He got a little creative.
Since he had his accident, he's posted 3 tweets and 2 are controversial. He had to retract his first statement. Every
Yeah,
time he
because
opens his mouth, like Jimmy's saying, he's talking some shit.
exactly
Medications.
he's making a fool of himself because what he's
drinking something.
basically saying is I have no argument, so now I'm gonna get racial with another black man. That's it. Who's caping for another black guy. So
And
I
and
got nothing.
exactly, and he comes, but he throws a dig towards Aram too. Listen, obviously that's always the undertone when it comes to Aram. Remember the whole like he's fucking liked Instagram post calling Aram a slave trader. It's been liked
Right.
by Errol Spence. You know what I mean? So that's what you
Right.
do. You go down his
Wow.
likes because they won't retweet shit or their Instagram. You go by their likes. You're like, wow, okay, wow. So you read that and like that. Huh? Like he's just got that militant attitude. He believes that black men are targeted by police and shot at an exorbitant rate, which is just statistically not true. But he buys into that. He buys into the media every 4 years, rile up the black community because they want to get them to hate conservatives. So it's just. And it's like it's all peaking right now, but it's just not it's not a you know you want to go. Hey, all the power to him. He's a grown ass man. Motherfucker wants to hang around with Farrakhan and just start going down that route. Fine, but don't expect to become a pay-per-view star. That was one thing fucking Mayweather did on his rise. He never mentioned, never
Yeah,
played that
never.
shit. Never went. And Uncle Tom, listen, that was the big. That was a kick in the fucking teeth to Aram too. You got your, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Calling him that, calling him a coon. Nah, just going on YouTube, man. Seriously, straight up, like, just, I mean, what's that sheriff there with the hat, the conservative sheriff? He says it all the time. Fucking, I have been called more racist, horrible, egregious comments have come at me by my own people than ever by white people. And see, that's what happens. It's almost like, and it's not real life. It's Twitter, and he buys into that.
Yeah, that's the problem with boxing. That's why it's such a toxic, hideous sport to be around. And like I said, it's low lifes everywhere. It's because it's all about race with boxing, and it drives me insane fucking talking about it. It really does, because it should be a sport we're breaking down and enjoying and actually making friends and talk. Even if we don't support the same guys, we should be all getting along, making friends with across the. I'm not going to get a chance to meet Americans very often. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even allowed in America for something I did when I was a kid because they're quite strict, aren't they? So I'll never come over. So it's my chance to mix with American boxing fans. I don't want to be talking about victim cards and the racism and stuff. I just.
You try to get away from it, especially in the UK, right?
That's why I came here, and it's just man, there's just no getting away from the fucking. Bores the hell out of me.
Hey guys,
like I said,
we have
I just wish it wasn't like that, but it is.
Yeah, no, I agree with you too. I mean, it's just toxic and something you just want to stay away from boxing. Well, from boxing on YouTube, just because of all the racism that always is brought up and shit. But anyways, I don't want to get into it.
Think about Timothy Bradley. Listening to this dude call him a fucking coon, and he's probably saying, "What the fuck are you talking?" Like,
yeah,
what
I don't know where.
Yes. Like, what are you? Yo, I'm saying that my boy on this side, a black dude, you guys don't want to shoot hands with him. How did this turn racial? Like, why is it?
Everything's racial for some people?
Because he works for Bob Arum. That's what it comes down to.
That's what it comes down to, right?
Because he works for a white man's network.
Right.
Think about it. That's what it comes down to.
Basically, he's working for a black con.
a Jew.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, 773. I think it's Kevin. You're back. Go ahead, because you dropped off.
Yeah. Sorry, Kevin. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. So I just want to ask you guys: did Crawford look like the pound for pound best fighter in the world? The way he was getting tagged with those shots, clean right hands, nothing, no setups, just a sloppy overhand right hand, landed clean on the chin, little left hook on the temple, and that's it. He's wobbled. He was down on his knee. I mean, that didn't look like the best fighter in the world. Wasn't even like it was a really fast right hand, really fast setup. Just looked like that's when he gets your does. Does he look like the best fighter in the world, pound for pound?
No, but you see, to answer your question, caller, no, but I didn't think he was the best pound for pound fighter going into the fight. You see, I knew I'd like the fight because I knew Kavaluskas could offer some problems there, right? And whenever a guy can offer you problems, there's always a chance that he can end up winning the fight. The reason that being is if you can't make adjustments. But look, this is not to knock Terrence Crawford. It's not a knock on him. I think the narrative is all wrong. He's this great elusive fighter that he's just got unbelievable boxing skills in terms of boxing, how to choose and pick punches and not get hit and throw a punch and duck a punch at the same time. That's never who he's been. He's a fighter. That's what he is. He's a fighter that benefits from you fighting with him. Okay, so if you fight with him, he's gonna win that battle, right? If you run out of endurance, he's gonna win that battle. He's gonna beat you. So look, ESPN, what they're trying to do is, first of all, they got the best pound for pound fighter in this stable. That name is Lomachenko. Okay, not Terrence Crawford in terms of boxing style and how they dominate top level opponents. Right, that's Lomachenko. Yeah, they got that. Also, I'll finish up real quick, Gonzalo. I'll finish up with this. Well, what they're trying to do is, they're trying to sell Terrence Crawford as the best fighter or possibly the best fighter. It's part of their marketing, how to market someone, because let's face it, Terrence Crawford is kind of boring. He's a boring fighter, bro. In a lot of ways. He brings nothing outside of the ring as well. So they got to kind of he's the best fighter. He's a great boxer and he's got a mean streak. No, he's a good fighter and he's got a mean streak like any other good fighter does. That's all. That's Terrence Crawford in a nutshell.
Yeah, as far as a viewer, and for the sake of him and his career, he's got this contract with ESPN. I'd rather see a fighter that brings it like he did against Kavaliauskas. I'm not expecting like a fight on the back foot where he's trying to win on points, because that's not entertaining. So he lost 2 rounds out of 9. He dominated the rest, dropped the guy 3 times. The guy that he fought, Kavaliauskas, just to the collar, he was undefeated. Obviously, he's a Lithuanian, which is not very popular. But then again, it's a good win. He lost 2 rounds and kind of recognizing, I'm not expecting perfection. I want to see a fight. And he delivered, and especially at the higher weights. At 147, he's not going to be that elusive guy that's not going to get hit. That's not what I'm looking for. And the question is, will he be able to readjust and beat everybody else when the going gets rough, just like it did in this fight? Can he adjust and beat those guys, even how good they may be as well? That's the thing. So I'm not gonna criticize Crawford too much.
All right, Kevin. Anything else?
Yeah, but looking here, yeah. You see how good he looked against Chef Horn and Amir Khan, and this is what people are judging off of. This is what they say. Oh, look at how they dominate these fighters, man. That's pound for pound. He's pound for pound. But look, even like someone like Deontay Wilder, when he's knocking out guys, he dominated.
He won 7 rounds. Knocked the guy down 3 times. He got hit with a few punches. Who cares?
At the same time, Paulo, though,
you're not getting the point, Gonzalo. The point is, this guy's meant to be a pound for pound number 1 in most people's eyes. We have to pick apart. We analyze a fight and pick it apart. And let's be real, he did win that fight comfortably in the end. But there was times where it's getting totally outboxed, man. He was getting rocked and just couldn't handle the straight punches. And this is a weakness we're looking for in the future. We're not saying it was a good performance. It was. Did what you had
round
to do.
3 and round 4 only.
Spot
round
on.
3 and round 4, and just drop him off the pound for pound list. Would he beat all the other welterweights? Forget about the pound. Yeah.
Also,
hold on.
The kid he fought, Green Machine. All right.
Sorry,
I was gonna say that kid.
Yeah, go ahead, Jimmy, quickly.
No, I was gonna say the kid Green Machine too. Everybody's kind of cutting him. I'm gonna stick up for him a little. That kid was in a lot of people's prospect of the year back in 2015. The kid can crack. He's, hard enough to hurt people, Olympian. Obviously. 2-time Olympian. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not saying you guys. I'm not saying Stu or you, dude. I'm not saying that. I agree with everything you guys are saying. I'm saying people out in Twitter sphere, what I was reading. Like, people are
these are the
fucking nobody.
Fanboys.
Yeah. Like, this kid is a fucking, I'm like, what do you mean he's a nobody? I'll tell you right now, that kid would give any one of those PBC fucking welterweights the same amount of fits. He's a 2-time Olympian. He's not going to go in there and be smacked around like fucking, I'm just saying, he wouldn't have been any more of a different I don't know if Spence would take him out within 7. Who knows? I'm just saying it's people aren't just saying about Crawford. It's about him. People aren't giving him enough dues. That's all. But anyways,
Kevin.
Carlos, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, but listen here. Did you see his last fight against Robinson? He didn't look that good. He looked very average.
No, he didn't. And you're right.
Fighter.
That showed the flaws in this fighter, Kavaluskas. But the problem was, it's like this. Look, when I looked at this fight, I said Kavaluskas is going to give Terence Crawford some fits. And it's like, well, if Terence Crawford is the best fighter. Well, first of all, you're talking to a guy who doesn't see him as the best fighter pound for pound. That's one. And like Jimmy said, I think he gives people on the PBC side the same type of fits. He does give them some problems. You got to look
I'm not
at
sure
it.
about him. I just don't know what you guys are seeing. I just wasn't sure about.
Well, I mean, Kavaluskas is
he
not.
did the basic. He did the basic stuff, man. I mean, what's the first thing you get taught in a fucking boxing ring? The straight, the left, and the right hand. The jab and the right hand. Sorry, that's all he was doing. I mean, the right hand was just landing all the time because Crawford weren't getting out of the way of it. He was standing on a southpaw stance that he had no business in. And he was getting clocked with the right hand, which southpaws hate right.
Look, I'll say this. Stu.
Exactly.
I don't know what he
Listen, real
what
quick
he
before I
would
get out of
do.
here. I'll make my point.
Yeah, let Kevin finish.
Make my point.
Okay.
Yeah.
This I know you guys. You don't have a pound for pound, but the majority of the boxing world looks at him as one of the pound for pound best fighters. If it's not the number one, he's top 3. I know you guys don't specifically, but the majority of boxing fans consider him as one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world. And what his last fight showed is he's not. He's not. He looks really spectacular against average, medium to above average fighters like Jeff Horn and Amir Khan. When he went up against someone like this, he got tagged, he got rocked, he got dropped. He was getting hit with basic punches. So when you have that much hype and you have that much hype around you, you got to go out there and look flawless. When you're a negative 2,500, you can't get hit, you can't get dropped. You got to go out there and completely outclass the guy. I think that's what my point is. I know you guys don't have him as that, but the majority of boxing fans have him as one of the best tacticians in the sport. And he didn't look like it, but I'll leave it to you guys. Take it easy.
All right. Thanks for the phone call.
Yeah. Again, I agree with most of what the caller said, and I'll say this: look, I don't know what he'll do against the PBC side. I think it's fair to say that because he's never. I knew he was going to give some fits to Terence Crawford. That's what I expected, and that's what ended up happening. That's what I would say.
All right, 818, you're on the air. 818.
Hello?
Yeah, Muscle, what's up?
How's it going, Bucho? How's it going? Recognize, I think I heard Stu and Gonzalo. And
what's up? Muscle memory.
Yeah,
what's up,
how's it
brother?
going? I'm missing somebody. My mind just went blank. Jimmy, what's up to Jimmy? And speaking of Jimmy, like,
what's going on, buddy?
Did the debate ever go down with Jimmy and Thunderdome? Because I missed a bunch of shows.
No, we need to continue that show, the trivia show. Yeah.
Right. I'm still the champion right now.
Yeah.
So I'm a little ring rust. Right.
What's on your mind, Muscle?
Yeah. What's on your mind, Muscle memory?
Well,
I recognise Keith Thurman defended his belts more times than you have.
Go ahead, Muscle.
Yeah, I didn't pick up what was just said, but good win for Crawford with the Kavalaskas. I watched the fights this past weekend. It's unfortunate the Kavalaskas knockdown wasn't scored, but he looked like he gassed out by like the fourth and fifth round. He looked like he had nothing left in the tank. Here's what I don't understand.
Yep.
Why not just throw like the kitchen sink at this guy? You know, like he's clearly like the better boxer than you. If he takes you to deep waters, you pretty much have no chance. Not to mention the scorecards. I don't get it. I don't understand why doesn't he just throw everything he has at him and just maul the guy, just rush him? I think, like, personally, I think that's the only chance these guys have. And why like allow that distance and try to outbox like a phenomenal boxer? So it makes no sense to me. But great win for Crawford either way. It's interesting what's going to happen next because
arguably Velasquez, I think it was the top guy other than Crawford at 147 on ESPN. So I don't know what they're going to have to offer unless it's something like a Jose Ramirez moving up next year or something. So we'll see what happens if Crawford's able to go over the fence and fight one of the PBC guys.
Probably going to be Porter. I'm just saying it's more than likely going to be Porter.
Nice.
That'll be nice. I hope for that
Nice.
fight, man. Put in mind that.
Do it.
And and to say what you were saying about Cavill, I think he gassed out too. You know why? And he did. I think what you said. If you notice, he was loading up on his punches. Like you could tell by his way he was flat. And what happens when you load up on a punch? You probably already know this. So I'm telling. You know, I know all the panel. When you load up and throw a punch and you miss, it takes like 3 times as much energy out of you. It's crazy.
Yes,
so he was missing with a lot of load up punches. That takes so much out of you. You know what I mean? So
take in mind,
yeah,
never being on this stage, also, you know, that can play a part.
He was putting his head down and swinging at times.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Loading up, and that takes a lot out of you. So he knew that. I think obviously he knew if I don't take him out when I'm fresh in the first 4 or 5, I'm done. So I'm sure just emotionally he was. Now once the 5th bell rang and Crawford wasn't out, I'm sure he was getting up off the stool saying, let's keep the fucking beating to a minimum. At that point, he's emotionally let down. He's not got the same. So, yeah, you know what I mean? He knew he had no chance at that point.
I think the problem is a lot of these fighters, they come to these guys' backyards, like Kavaluskas last night. He's fighting Crawford in America. A guy's hyped to be a pound-for-pound fighter. He's not winning on the cards. He knows that. So he's changing his game plan up. He's doing something he might not be comfortable doing, chasing a fight that's not even started, if you get what I'm saying. So from the bell, he's chasing a fight, trying to build points up, and it's probably costing him. That can happen. You can be, because boxing's so corrupt, you can go in there with a game plan that's not going to suit you, but you know that you're not going to win on the card, so you've got to go for a stoppage, even though that's unlikely as well. And it's sort of like throws you off your game plan, sort of thing, throws you off your rhythm.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. You go in there. This is the A-side bullshit that, you know, at least me and a lot of people on this panel we complain about. It kind of changes your mindset. Imagine you being the guy that has to do. No, you got to do. You know, it's easy for you to sit your fat ass down and say, oh, but he's not good because he couldn't pull it off. Yeah, that's easy from you, from a guy who's never thrown hands in his life. Okay, so for a guy who's going up in there against another professional, and you got to do more, you know, try to fight with that on your plate. Okay, we've seen it. We've seen it with plenty of fights. You know, I'll give you an example. Triple G versus Canelo Alvarez.
The fuck?
Dark Vader.
Yeah. All right.
To me, I really need to watch the Crawford versus Porter fight, because look, if Crawford dominates Porter in the sense that, well, maybe he doesn't win every round, but he knocks him out, gets him out of there. The whole triangle theory about Crawford not looking impressive in all his fights, and that Kavaluskas beat Robinson, so trying to use the triangle theory to say that he's not facing the best opposition. Well, Porter has gone life and death with all these top guys, arguably winning all of his fights. So if Crawford was able to take out, if Porter's able to take out, yes. If Crawford's able to take out Porter, this shows that he's dominating, because even though he gets hit or not, he's still beating these guys. And if he beats Porter the same way, whether he doesn't dominate the entire fight, but ultimately knocks him out, that shows that he's able to adjust and is just that good.
I'll be shocked. I'm not gonna lie to you, Gonzalo. I'll be shocked if he takes out Porter. Knock him out. I'm talking about stopping him. I'll be fucking shocked.
Yeah. No, of course.
Yes. Sorry for making a soup salad. I just woke up.
Enjoy your soup salad.
Yeah.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I can hear you, Muscle.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. The phone just went mute and then just hung up. So I don't know. But
go ahead.
Anyway, yeah,
I hung up on you. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what else to add. Other than that, I saw the David Lemieux fight. I don't know if any of you guys caught that last week.
No, it was in Montreal. Yeah.
Uploaded.
Nah. Oh, you have it. I read he got
No.
dropped. He got dropped twice.
Yeah, Lemieux got dropped twice, but he dropped the other guy too, like
Yeah.
the 6th or 7th. So
No,
it was
he's
like 2
shot.
to 1 in knockdowns in favor of the Ukrainian fighter, and then with the scorecards too, it went 2 to 1 in favor.
Mosul
of the,
mentioned that Lemieux was fighting at
Hello.
168. He's a small 168 pounder.
it was a previous Zurdo opponent, I think.
Oh, okay.
The guy he was fighting, I think, was an ex-opponent of Zurdo, Ramirez.
All right, then. Anything else,
yeah,
man? That's it. All right,
There
man.
was that, and a good win for Lopez. Just blew out Coleman. So looking forward to that in Loma. Hopefully it happens sooner than later.
Yep, let's get it over with. All right, Virtuoso, thanks for the phone call. Take care.
All right.
Call me crazy, but I think
You're crazy.
Virgil Ortiz, he
Psycho.
fights everybody at welterweight right now.
Wait, what?
Virgil Ortiz?
What did
He's
you
good,
say?
man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far yet.
No.
But not gonna say that I wouldn't like to see him try. I think I think that boy's good, man. Virgil Ortiz,
You know what
definitely
would
good.
you know why I wouldn't take that bet, meaning like I wouldn't bet against that, him taking everybody, because of his number of fights. Look at how active he's been. And that makes all the difference. After every loss, look at Thurman. The first thing he said, man, if I was active, I would have beaten Pacquiao. All his friends said it. All his trainers were saying it. It makes such a difference, ring rust. You can't fight twice a year and be on your game. Virgil Ortiz coming off these fucking fights every 3-4 months right now.
Yeah.
If he was to step up right now and fight, I'll tell you right now, I'd put him fucking, oh my God, yeah, I would fucking put him up against any one of those guys. I like him, and that kid's nasty. Hands up tight, fucking quick muscle
That's
fibers,
the reason.
Do you
accurate.
think
I'm really high on that kid.
this is Golden Boy's
Yeah.
idea?
Right,
You guys
right
think
enough
this is-
amount of nasty.
Jesus.
He doesn't fucking go berserk and punch himself out. No, kid knows. Plus, he's a metalhead. I really, really like that.
Do you guys think
But
this
yeah, I'm
is?
high on him.
Oh, why you say that? What a statement. No, well, look, you think about people that been young champions in the past, like Benitez, Wilfred Benitez. That guy was like 17. Mike Tyson was 21. He's 22, and he got the skills. So he's the one guy that I would say
He's
beat
dangerous.
everybody right now. Yep.
He just knocked out 3 dudes in fucking fights, right? And none of them have ever been stopped. And he just stopped all 3 of them. Boom, boom, boom. The kid, so it's not phantom, it's not, beating up slug power. It's straight power. And you can hear it. Fucking, yeah, Steve Kim said, dude, it's crazy, man. He was saying I remember him, he was telling me about him like 3 years ago at the gym. He was saying that on the next round, talking about Virgil. He's like, this kid can crack. You saw him at the gym there. But yeah, so I'm really high on that kid. I'm with you there, brother.
Jimmy,
Big time.
the activity that Ortiz has, is that something like maybe Golden Boys he knows about?
I'm
Because
sorry, brother.
can you hear me? Hello?
I can now.
I was talking about Virgil Ortiz, the fight that he's fighting like 3 times a year. Is that something that De La Hoya he knows about? Because I remember when De La Hoya was starting his career, he was fighting all the time.
Too. Yeah.
Even after,
Remember, De La Hoya had 5.
Even back in '99 when he fought Trinidad, he fought Corte, and then he fought.
No, he when he fought 1 year he had 5 fights, and that was the year he fought Pernell Whitaker. Whatever year that was, he fights Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah.
He was active, and
So yeah,
he knows that there's something about that that works in boxers'
Absolutely.
favor, depending on their temperament. It all depends on temperament. Depends on
Just
the guy.
you
Some guys
you
can't.
equate-
Some guys can't handle 5 professional high level fights. They can't.
Well, it depends on how much damage you take, but if you don't want to dish out the damage, you know what I mean? Absolutely. As long as you don't take lacerations that can open up, you want to take care of scar tissue. You don't end up with any shoulder injuries that you're going to turn from an injury into a fucking, an actual medical problem, like, bursitis in the shoulder. There's certain things you want to look out for. But if you're riding high and your engine's smooth, your camps are dialed in, the weight's coming off smooth, you're cracking people. He's had his, Yeah, no, I'll tell you right now, if one of those dudes were dumb enough to step in the ring with him right now, it'd be for a long night. That kid's got
Yeah,
length,
he got. Yep.
footwork.
Not only
he puts
that, man,
eyes
you got
on you.
He's been fighting 3-4 times a year, but he's been getting these guys out early. So in terms of total rounds, some guys might be fighting twice, but they're going the distance 12 rounds. Where this guy combined fights in rounds total, he's not getting hurt because he's a power puncher that most guys don't want to get.
And he's not hurting his hands, which is a good sign.
Yeah, don't want getting inside his wheelhouse, and he's also very defensively responsible, as you were alluding to, Jimmy. Yeah, and people say, "Oh, the Mexican bias, this and that." No, well, like Jimmy said, he likes rock music. He's kind of like a white guy. But if they want to say it like that, it doesn't matter. He's just that good.
As Mexican as you can get. I'm all over that.
Yeah.
But to Bucho's point, though, Oscar De La Hoya did. I remember when he got to the point financially, his fights were starting to pull in that kind of money where he had to go. It just becomes so big that you have to maybe only have 2 fights, 3 at most, because of the logistics. And that's when he complained. The weight, he wasn't getting, his timing was way off. I'm telling you, even an old man, dude, at my age, if I don't play hockey for a while, it's crazy. I mean, I know what I need to do. It's just your timing, just slightly off. And the more elite you do something, the more that timing counts. It's all time. It's reaction. Boom, boom. You're not thinking in there. You react. And if you're not doing something up, you don't react to it. And then you think, and then you're a dead man when you're thinking in a ring. Should be all reaction. Should be so tested. You should be so ready. You slip overhand. Boom. This is just what you do. The guy's in that position in front of you. This is the punch that gets thrown. It's not, this is what should I do? It's just your body does it.
Listen, it's not a football game. This is not football or soccer where you can hide behind your teammates when you're too old, your legs are gone. You've got nowhere to hide. And like I said, one mistake cost you your life in a boxing ring. That's why Vlad called it a day. That's why all these other Lennox Lewis, that's why all these other greats know when to call it. Floyd, they all know when to call it a day, don't they? Because like I said, one day they're gonna get that boxing ring, go and try and do what they did before. It's not gonna work, and they're gonna walk onto one. And that's all.
When Lennox Lewis saw how he was huffing and puffing, as a man face broken up in the ring, and he's huffing and puffing and about to get knocked out, he said to himself, "Okay, I'm done." Because he knows that when he was at his best, had he have Vitaly that busted open, he would have finished Vitaly. He would have finished him off. He would have not needed the doc to call the fight. Like finally say, "Look, man, this is getting dangerous."
Yeah.
Right? Because look, if Lennox Lewis doesn't get that stoppage from the from the doctors saying, "Look, this is too much.
Yeah,
this fight is done," he probably gets stopped, bro. Okay, he's probably gonna end up getting, just running out of gas and saying, "Damn, I can't get this guy out of here, so I'm done." Hey, that's when you realize, man, I'm done. I fight this guy again, he kills me. He finishes me, right? There's no doubt that if he fights Lennox Lewis in a rematch, what happens? What happens to Lennox? He gets beat up. He gets battered.
Hello? All right.
Can you hear me at all? Am I the only one you can't
my friend.
You guys didn't hear me?
Yeah, I heard what you said. Yeah, the Lennox.
I heard you.
Yeah, no, I
heard you loud and clear.
It's like after I said, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Hey, can anybody hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
I can barely hear you.
No, I can't hear you. Pete, I can't hear you.
Pete, what the fuck? These guys just.
Pete's
Can you
always
hear
like
me?
on some mission, right? He's like here, he's like there, like the movie Rat Race.
Hey, Pete, get a ladder, get out of the tunnel you in, and speak into the phone. We can't hear you.
I'm in the
Dude, I'm gonna buy him some headphones.
No country from old. I just went and bought them, Jimmy. Look at this.
Okay, I can't see, bro. Sorry. I want to hear you, and I struggle to hear you sometimes.
I know. I walked down to the fucking store. It's 30 degrees out. I walked down there to buy these. You know what I'm saying? With the microphone in them.
Yeah, yeah.
Pete, where are
There
you?
you go. I heard you there.
Yeah, no.
I'm in Texas.
Where are you, Pete? Where are you?
I'm in Texas, Sonora, Texas.
Talk now again. Say something, Pete.
I'm in Sonora, Texas.
Oh yeah, there we go, Pete. Now I can hear you, kid. Whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I gotta get right up. That.
So yesterday Alabama, now you're in Texas.
Yeah, I know what he's
Well, you
doing.
got to drive, Bucho. You got to drive from Florida
Trap.
to Texas. You got to go through Alabama and Mississippi.
I know, but I'm just wondering why. What did you do?
I know what he's doing. He doesn't have to answer that. Go get
Leaving
that money.
body parts.
Kinda. We're deer hunting.
Are you on the 20 or the 10?
10.
That's a scary road, man. A lot of fucking serial killers dump bodies on the 10.
Is that what they call it now? Deer hunting?
I passed John Gonzalez. I passed San Antonio.
Ah, there's no mistake there. You're hanging out with John Dollars. That's what's
Pete, you're fading again, though, bro. Your voice is fading again on us.
I gotta hold this fucking microphone right up on my snout right here, and then we'll get some feed. We'll get some.
no
play.
more excuses. No more excuses.
Bro, no one can hear me when I'm talking. Then Bucho's telling me to mute my fucking mic in the background. This old headset was driving me crazy. I threw my Bluetooth headset across the fucking hotel room. I got so pissed off. The microphone broke in it, but it picks up.
So did you bag any deer?
Acceptable, Pete. It's not acceptable.
Did you pull down any pointers?
Jimmy, I'm gonna ignore these losers in here. The yeah, and I got my air conditioner off because there's a little window banger. You guys remember No Country for Old Men? That movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
When he
that hit man.
Yeah, right. But when he checked into the hotel to hide the bag up in the AC vent. Remember that old ass hotel room? He just unscrewed the AC vent and stuffed the briefcase full of money up there.
Is that what you did?
No, that's what.
And then he went and rented the other room so he could reach his bag through a fucking hook. And that dude was killing motherfuckers with the thing that they kill the lambs with. Boof!
Make sure you
Shoots a
don't got a
spike into
guy
the head.
with an air
I don't want
with
to
an
talk
air
shit too loud. I got my door open.
Ooh.
I got my AC off so I can
Way to
broadcast
go.
with no disturbance in my mic.
I think I was just stepping all over you, dude. Sorry about that.
I know. But listen, what Jimmy's saying is right though about Lennox Lewis being in the zone and when he loses it. But it's in team sports too. On an individual level, you still got to play. It's the same thing. Like Jimmy mentioned hockey, it's the same thing with football. You know.
Yeah, you gotta be active. If you're
Well,
unactive,
I'm saying when you have it, you have it, and when it falls off, it falls off. That's all there is to it.
All right. Well, I'm from New England. They're talking about Gronk coming back, right? Because obviously the Patriots having problems with their offense. And Gronk's like, man, I'd have to put weight on. And he says, my timing, he goes, it would take me 6 weeks of hard practicing before I could even get good fucking practice timing, is what he said. Never mind game timing. So because all the routes are run. So it's like, it's crazy. So same thing with boxing. Like, look at Keith Thurman. I'm telling you, man, did he look like fucking 20 pounds? I mean, 147 pounds of smashed shit that he was missing.
Against
His
Pacquiao
fucking
or
balance
against,
was off.
Lopez?
When he
Against
Tom,
Lopez,
when he
against
fought,
Lopez.
yeah, Pacquiao, he was thinking
that's
too much.
Jimmy, that's the most important thing in a boxing ring, your timing, right? And timing's the first thing to go when you're out of the ring, when you're ring rusty. Timing's it's the first that go. And that's why a lot of guys, they'll be out in the ring for a while, come back, and it's just not there. Furman, we saw it with him. Just couldn't get the timing right.
Bingo. Yep.
Sparring doesn't do that, you know. Fights, that's how you get your timing and start to get in a rhythm. Fights, you can't do it in sparring.
You don't have butterflies, and don't get me wrong, dude. Every fighter has butterflies going into the ring. Everybody does. You don't get that. It's a totally different atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Because you're nervous about taking a shot as well, so that changes things.
Of course. Get knocked out in front of thousands of people too. You know what I mean? Like, yeesh.
That's the thing with the Charlo fight. You know, that's coming up on the rematch with Tony Harris. In the first fight, I thought Charlo's timing was off to where maybe he was sparring to where in an actual fight he was barely missing because he got used to hitting the headgear too much because he was slightly missing the whole time. If he would have just adjusted his punches by just a little bit, he would have got to his target.
Because he fights twice a year. You know what I mean? He fights twice a year. His timing, they'll never be right, and it'll look bad again this time.
You can get a fighter in. You can get a fighter in that's similar to your opponent, and you can spar with him. But he's not your opponent. Your opponent's going to bring different angles, different stuff. He's going to have smaller gloves on the night without head guard for a start.
And he's going to be trying to knock you out. You know what I mean? Opposed to a guy like, you know. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
You know what I mean? But no, I was saying, and he's going to be trying to knock you out. You know what I mean? He's not going to have a trainer screaming at him every time he hits you too hard.
Okay.
What the fuck? Like, you know what I mean?
That's
Seriously,
what I
like
wanna
they always
hear.
do. You know what I mean? So
That's what I want to
when
hear.
they
Jimmy, let me pick your brain for a second.
sure.
Let me pick your.
Callum Smith was out the ring for how long? When he fought John Ryder the other night, couldn't time that left hook for Toffee. Just couldn't land it, and that's bad. That's timing that was costing him. Just couldn't get
100%
it right
right.
on the night. And that's because he's not been in the ring sparring. Sparring your brothers and some bums from bloody up north are not gonna get you prepared for world class fights. Do you know what I mean?
No, couldn't be more right. That's why Mickey used to fucking say, "I'll fight out of my weight class if I have to. Just get me a fight." He says, "I can't go fucking every 6 months." That's why he wanted to fight every 3 months, every 4 months. You know, and he's like, "I got to stay sharp." That's just the way it was. It just becomes such a, and we talk about it all the time. Like, that's our main conversation with him. It's like, dude, I don't know how these guys fight twice a year. That's why they look like, if you look at the percentages landed in some of these fights, like with, I think, yeah, Porter landed 19% of his punches thrown. That's horrible. You know what I mean? That's really horrible against Spence. 19%. You know, I understand it's just sloppy fights. And I don't know, man. Like, all right, Hurd, for instance, Hurd Williams, that was a good fight.
Billy Joe
What's
Saunders
that?
the other night. Billy Joe
I didn't
Saunders the other
I didn't
night.
see it. I didn't end up seeing
His
how was that.
timing it was horrible. His timing was off. He looked slow. There was no snap in he just looked dreadful.
One thing about Saunders, he's honest. He's usually honest about his when he does something. Every time I've read the stuff he said about his performance.
Oh, he admitted he was terrible.
Yeah, I got to give it to him for that. And a lot of guys aren't.
But that's what I'm saying.
Sorry, guys.
You've got to keep fighting regularly.
That means that we have to end the show, unfortunately. But I want to thank everybody for joining.
That's your signal that show's over.
Yeah. Gonna be like Steve Smoger. What was his that referee jumping in, screaming and shit. That's me intervening. Guys, we gotta
when they asked him after Mickey Ward fight, why didn't you stop the fight? And he turned to the guy, the announcer, goes, "Because this crowd would have fucking killed me."
Smoger said that.
Smoger?
Steve Smoger, the referee.
Yeah, this guy was a joke, man. Remember in that Mike Tyson? What was it? Against that Danish guy. What was his name? Mike Tyson.
Oh, he went over. Not both. It was he went over there and fought him, right? After he got out of jail, a white guy.
Yeah. No, not both. No. That was
no, not both. The Danish
Nielsen,
guy.
Brian Nielsen.
Champion, right?
Brian Nielsen. He stops the fight. He has Brian Nielsen. Do you want me to stop the fight? Do you want me to say no in your language? Then the guy says, "Yeah, I want to stop the fight." And then he's like, "I love you, man." Like, what the fuck is that? What is he saying? I love you.
That's why records don't mean anything, because I believe that Brian Nielsen was about 42-0 at one time, I think.
Yeah, you remember that? He was supposed to fight John Ruiz.
Exactly, but he had some ridiculous record, like 42, 43-0, but he was fighting Danish cab drivers.
No, sorry. Yeah, Mike Tyson wanted to put that guy Nielsen against Rahman. After Rahman beat Lennox Lewis, he wanted to make that fight in China. Like a whole fucking mess. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining us, everyone in the chat as well. The best chat on YouTube. And Dolores, please don't write 50 comments after we post this video. All right? We don't want you going all crazy, posting 50 messages. Just not professional.
Us?
All right, but guys, Jimmy and who else is here? Stu, everybody, guys, thank you for joining us. You guys are the best. Also, you in the chat. Night. Good night. Let's do the quick. Yeah, let's do the quick shout out. Roja Was says, well, whatever. Body Aces, Hawker Mustang Virtuoso, SSB28, Seamus, who else? Steven Schneider, Joe Lopez 40 ounces, Jin. Who else do we have? Same Brit, One Hitter. Also want to thank all the callers. Thank you for calling.
No Cachnello again, huh?
Yeah, Cachnello, if you're listening, which I don't think you are. I don't know what happened to you, man, but contact us on Twitter or leave a message. On this video.
Let's know you're all right.
Yeah. Well, he's all right. I'm sure he's all right. It's just they shut down his Twitter account because you know how Twitter is. And yeah, man, make another account. I think Haymanites is next, but hopefully not.
I know. That's what he was telling me. I
Yeah,
said,
he told
dude,
me
they cut
that.
you down.
I told him to make another account.
That kid entertains the shit out of me. All right. You guys have a good one.
Take care. Guys, thank you for joining us.
Dolores Bucho, he need to make an account and stop using his mom's phone out of respect for her, because they're making jokes about her.
Stop using your mother's phone, all right? So if you see a Dolores message, that's not Dolores, that's her wicked son, all right?
Yeah, man up,
motherfucker. Everyone of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I want to thank Al Heyman, too. Thank Al Heyman.
With degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in everyone. Totally disappointed in everyone of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in everyone.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
You just killed a little fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing. Lobito. Got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.
To this day. Hey.